This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BW, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular, dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night.
Hey, folks. Welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Porter here, man. Rich Live. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just been working on this mixtape and doing some freestyles and stuff like that. I was recording Lucchini today.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So working on that.
I hope you. Did you give him the lingo? Did you give him the camp?
I did put Harlem River Quiver in there at a certain point.
Talking about taking him to the Sugar Shack. What are they talking about? Like that beats, that's one of the all-time greatest rap beats ever, in my opinion. And them niggas went out there and said a whole bunch of jive, just jive.
Literally from the 70s.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was actually talking to Alex, and I'm gonna call it basically Tape Deck Ready. Like that's what I'm gonna call this little mixtape.
Okay.
Doing. As a reference, get your tape decks ready.
Right.
So still working on that. Should be prepped rather soon. So got the Blackberry Molasses one, got the Love Me one at Mason 112. Went nuts on that, and just having some fun.
So you gonna rap over that? What was that shit that Jay-Z did on Volume 3 where he was dissing the shit out of Mace?
I think that's Ride or Die, if I'm not mistaken.
You gonna rap over that beat? If you gonna rap over a beat where Mace is dissing Jay-Z, then I think is he's sneaky throwing subliminals at Jay-Z. Obviously, I think it's only right for you to also cover both sides of it.
That'd be funny.
Because you're a way bigger Jay-Z fan than you are a Mace fan. So I feel like you betraying Hov. I feel like you turn your back on Hov when you go out here rapping over that over murder shit like that.
I think with I've always had this thing with Jay-Z beats, right? Where they always have all these like crazy protections on them and all that.
Oh, they'll snatch your shit.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And this one, I don't know, I'm kind of sending this out as an exclusive to people that have purchased my albums in the past from me. So this is going directly to them before it goes out.
But you still can't risk that with Jay-Z. Jay-Z will find a way. Jay-Z will find a way to have motherfuckers rappel through the ceilings on you.
Right. So it's like, so I do have some other beats. I kind of was looking at Breathe and Stop, Q-Tip.
Okay.
I was looking at the Sean Paul, Deport Them. I was looking at what other ones? Alex sent me to the Fat Joe. You Got a Flow Joe, or not? You Got a Flow Joe. The John, what the fuck is it called? John Blaze. Then My Lifestyle as well. I was looking at. I had Mobb Deep, Give Up the Goods, Big Pun, You Came Up, Jadakiss, We Gonna Make It. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about Icy.
What Icy?
And Gucci.
Oh.
Tupac, How Do You Want It?
What is Yo Yankee ass doing rapping over that?
Big Pun, It's So Hard.
Okay.
East Side is G'd Up. Tribe Called Quest, We Can Get Down. Total, Sitting Home. I like to rap on the R&B beat sometimes. Missy Elliott, All Up in My Grill, but I can't really find an instrumental of it that I really like.
Oh, because, the shit with Big Boy on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the only version I've ever heard of it in instrumental form is like the loop that the Swisher House niggas rap freestyle over for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's only the Drink in My Cup, Man Hold Up. Yeah, that's all. That's the only version I've ever heard.
Yep.
So I mean, it's an awesome beat.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something, so still working on it. Just seeing what's next.
You know what's funny? Because we were talking about this off air with Jamel about Eminem, and it's like, does he have 10 quality like guest verses or whatever else? And when we came up with the 10, I was like, okay, that's solid 10. I'm sure there's a few more, but right. But when I went through it, like the first thing my mind was like, I know we ain't gonna talk about that shit he did on Missy's second album, because that shit, that's not a good song. like bro, if you look through her guest list, right? She had, because remember, Hot Boys is on there. So like there's Nas, right?
Yep.
Then there's the Eminem track at the very end. Or not the very end, and then like there's also a track where like there's Juvenile and BG on it. It's like these guest features have nothing to do with each other at all.
Bro, they was just out there doing shit.
I mean, at that point in time, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. It worked really well for Missy Elliott, but it was interesting. Like, is that the only? It felt like for a while it was like, man, we'll rap with the white boy, but we ain't finna put him on our shit. we'll do we'll do a posse cut like Bitch Please too, but like as far as they thought that shit. They really thought that shit. They say far away from that shit until they realized, oh yeah, like this ain't no. He really can go, but like it was weird, and I understand it. I understand it that more than ever why they kept them over there. Now it's like, I wish our rappers had more discernment.
Yeah. You never know. You might just end up on a stream somewhere with them,
and that ain't got nothing to do with just Eminem being white. Like they'll rap with niggas rap with anybody on the track. Oh, you signed to a major deal, we'll swap work. It's like you don't give a fuck about this person. You'll never do another song with him again. All right, whatever.
Like, I can't say I'm immune from this. I've ended up on songs with Top Dollar before. Just sending verses out and people end up on songs like. And I don't know if I would have ever made a song with Top Dollar. Nothing against the guy or anything, but it's just like, how did that happen? Like, right. But shout out to Montez.
I mean, that's a good point. The advancement of the last 25 years was like niggas just emailed stems over. Yeah. It ain't about like back in the day, were like, you got to meet up with somebody, agree to this shit, and then y'all go to the same studio. Like one of my favorite, I think it was before it was Punk'd. They had gave, I think it was MTV2, or I believe they had gave Redman and Method Man basically like some proto Punk'd comedy thing, whatever else. And I guess like Ludacris had pranked them at some point, so their idea was like, yeah, we gonna prank him and we gonna give him a beat that's off timing, a non-quantized beat that has different timing. So like it's like 4/4, then it goes to like 7/8, and then all of a sudden he's trying to rap over, he's trying to find something to do with this shit. The beat's trash, besides the fact where the timing keeps changing. Time signature keeps changing, and then like all of a sudden at some point either Method Man or Redman was like, hey man, how about for ad lib you start ribbing like a frog, and then Ludacris was like, I saw that. I remember that. Yes. It was like back then. It's like
ribbit like
Ludacris is like, what I'm supposed to be like, hell no, fuck y'all, fuck. I'm Ludacris, like I'm going to become a huge superstar in rap, but like it's still Method Man and Redman.
Right. That shit funny as shit.
Oh man, I know he was relieved to find that shit was fake, because he was like, man, I'm about to put this shit finna go. This shit finna go.
Ass. Look, nigga was over there nodding his head like, trying to pretend like he was into it.
Trash. Gave that man hot trash. He wasn't looking around like, is it set up? Nah, this for real. I feel bad for them dudes back then. They had no choice. Especially because them dudes, a lot of that money getting through the door was not money that was not
accounted
money.
for.
So you can't be out here acting all crazy because
yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So make sure you guys are sending in your super chats and everything else. If you want to support the stream, we will make sure we get those read off and everything. I am trying to come up with a sound for you guys when you guys send a super chat to give you more incentive to hear such said sound. Good God. So whenever we designate what that is, we'll figure it out. Y'all help me out. Let me know what y'all think, we should figure out. The files is my shit. We gonna let them off. But there was one more thing I wanted to say, but it slips my mind at the moment. But yeah, make sure you guys are supporting the stream. Oh, and if you have good comments, like those might break through as well. So don't be discouraged. What else we got, James? So should we start at I guess we should start at the Super Bowl?
Yeah, start at the Super Bowl. I mean, this is going to be quick compared to the previous. I mean, well, maybe not last year. Last year moved pretty fast, but I mean, I think we talked about the halftime pretty decent. But it's going to be a situation where, like, we're going to talk more about the halftime, I assume, than the actual game, because the game was not competitive. This was an accident. I sent you a tweet somewhere in the third quarter that was on the lines of, like, hey, said the Seahawks who spat in the Patriots' booty hole.
Look, man, I watched this game. Y'all know I don't typically get down with the slave ball too often.
Oh man! So yeah, I don't know if Rich ever said that out loud. Rich says that behind the scenes he calls football slave ball. Yeah.
Oh, so and when I do, I like to drop in. I'm kind of from the time period of the great quarterbacks. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, Phillip Rivers, people that can throw for 40, 45 touchdowns in a season, 50 touchdowns in a season.
The era where like Matt Ryan's like the 8th to 12th best quarterback in the league. Yeah.
Right. Now,
and then on a random year, like everything aligns, he can win MVP. Yeah.
Correct. Just kind of like what happened with
Tony
Stafford.
Romo, another example.
Stafford got to just hang around forever, and instead of being like the 14th best quarterback, he's like a top 5 quarterback now.
Well, he had the benefit of being younger than everybody else.
Yeah. So like
Phillip Rivers. Hold on, there's another part about this. Phillip Rivers dusted it off at 40.
Rolls out of bed,
and because he can run his own offense.
So when I see I'll take it back to last year when I see Jalen Hurts, right, last year, and I'm like, I don't think he's all that good. Like when I'm watching him, right, I'm just like, I don't really see it. And then like I hear all the constant quarterback debates about who needs to be starters and who what they are, and I really got into following how good quarterbacks were because of the Kaepernick thing too. And then I was like, I know who can do what, and then I also think about it, I convert it to Madden. I'm like, these niggas that are winning, like, bro, I didn't check what Sam Darnold is, but like I feel like if you're not a 95 and above, like I just don't get entertained by that.
He's not a 95 quarterback. He's like he'd probably be like rated somewhere in like the. Cause I haven't played Madden in forever, but he's somewhere in like the mid to high 80s, I'd imagine.
Right. That's what I would think. And it's like, all right, it reminds me of like
tools, but it's not like
it's like you got to play up with him or whatever, right? But I see it and I'm like, yo, this reminds me of like grapple fuck wrestling that I don't enjoy. And then it's just like the defensive game and then the sorry quarterbacks. And I'm like, where the fuck is Pat Mahomes? Where the fuck is Lamar Jackson? Where the fuck is Josh Allen at? And then it's just like, you don't have that. And then it's like, I gotta watch this game where the Seahawks literally just swallow that nigga Drake May. They just swallow him the whole fucking game. Like, and then the Patriots are basically making deals like, please don't beat our ass too bad in the first half. We'll run the ball, and not try to go for it. We won't try to upset you or whatever. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So like, I just can't get into like football when the quarterbacking is not elite. I don't want to see motherfuckers hand the ball off 30 times in the game and then knowing we can move the fucking Like, I don't know if it's a rule change that caused this, the way defenses are getting down, but what the fuck has happened to the quarterback position to where I gotta watch Sam Darnold versus Drake May in a fucking Super Bowl?
So, I mean, what happened is, I mean, the main thing is the quarter. Remember, there's no max salary.
Right.
So if you have a quote unquote, if you have a quarterback that's a legitimate Pro Bowl guy, not a replacement guy, like legitimate guy that's
you gotta pay him.
He may make All Pro. They make so much money percentage of the cap that like the rest of the team is hampered unless you hit on draft picks over and over. Like, so what happened with the Chiefs is like they had Tyreek Hill, they had Kelsey, and they had Mahomes. And because Tyreek Hill could take the top off of defense, because he's one of the fastest players in the history of the sport, and they had one of the greatest tight ends of all time in Kelsey, like, he could do whatever he wanted. He could do whatever he wanted. There was no pass he couldn't try. He was throwing no-look passes across the field, and it was working, right? Mm-hmm. And then as they lose Tyreek Hill, their defense starts being bad. They start hitting on draft picks like people like or they always had Chris Jones. Chris Jones. I always had Big Chris. But they start hitting on what's your boy's name? The cornerback. They start hitting on picks, and so their draft went towards, well, we got all this offense and firepower. We'll work on our draft. So they started drafting and hitting some parts here and there. But then what happened is like the receiving core got so bad that it's gotten worse. And then like Mahomes has had to like, as defenses have now like started copying the Vic Fangio stuff of like we're going to play cover 4 a whole bunch of cover 4s. Like the only way to beat cover 4 is over the top, and if you don't have over the top speed,
right,
you're in trouble, right? So, like that ended up being an issue, and also the real nail in the cops was Kelsey's decline. Everything was able to keep on schedule until Kelsey's decline happened, and it was like, well, he's physically done. Or not physically done, but like, he's no longer an all-pro level offensive receiving threat anymore. So now, there's been a decline. That's why they had the season they had this year. Mm-hmm. And then you look at the AFC and NFC, the AFC has the better quarterbacks, the NFC has better teams. Like, the Eagles draft, like, I mean, you can make the argument that the Ravens had really bad luck. Like, what happened with them, they've always had a good roster, but when the margins get really thin, regardless of how much I like Lamar, he's not throwing people open. Mm-hmm. His threat is the wheels, which makes it easier, which opens up the pass game for him. There's nothing wrong with that, but like, he's the best dual threat quarterback ever. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. So this year he started off a little slow, and then he got hurt, and their season was kaput. The Bills they kept missing in drafts the last 3 years, and then their fucking GM that drafted these people ended up getting promoted, and then they end up fucking firing the coach who was given the bad groceries to cook a dinner with. Go figure. So like that's the AFC. The NFC is, oh bro, we got the Niners loaded with talent all the time. Regardless of quarterback, Eagles same thing. Even though it don't like sometimes they can win Super Bowl without having Jalen Hurts throw the ball over the middle of the field. It happened, right? That
nigga's a fullback. Like I'm not
doing that. Like I mean, the main thing's the main thing. He's never gonna put the ball in harm's way. He don't turn the ball over. Like he don't throw the ball in the middle. Is very risk averse. It's very frustrating to watch, but. They ended up getting Saquon Barkley, and they had a great offensive line, and the nigga ran for almost 2,000 yards last year. And
is this shit turning back into like, all right, it's like the
running backs matter again in a way that they did like in our early 2000s.
Yeah. So like, it's like
and like you had someone like Frank Gore or Curtis Martin getting 15,000 yards or whatever else, and he's like the 10th best running back in the league. Like we're back to that now, and that's how it is. It's cycles. It's just
I was going to ask.
Notice there was a cycle.
I was going to ask, has the defense like swung so far the other way, basically with the lack of great quarterbacks that came along, has it made it easier for these defenses to basically shut all that shit down until like the next offensive counter essentially comes into all that shit?
So what happened is when they went to, basically let's say since 2000, let's say last 20 years, right? 3 wide receivers is the base offense as opposed to 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers. Shotgun, right? 1-4 on 4th down. So what happened is because of of the shotgun, because of 3 receiver and 4 receiver formations and all that kind of stuff. 1 running back, spreading the floor or spreading the field vertically and horizontally, in stressing out these zones. In defenses, defenses have more prioritized speed. They've gotten smaller. So as they've gotten smaller and they started putting in these NASCAR packages, NASCAR is like when you start putting like three or 4 defensive ends in your defensive front as opposed to just like 2 D lines and 2 defensive ends because try to get his quarterback to get a better pass rush. Like what happened is like, all right, you want to do that?
We got to run at you.
We're gonna run the ball down your throat. Like, yeah. Right, we're gonna I am going Harbaugh. Harbaugh's like, oh, like the average defensive. Oh,
y'all 260 over there?
No, the average linebacker ain't 250 no more. It's like more like 225, 230 ish. Okay, let me draft Joe Alton, run the ball down your throat. Like that's been the counterbalance. And you had a lot of these defenses, or a lot of these offenses, off of the Sean McVay tree, and also the Kyle Shanahan tree.
Yep.
Where like it's about balance, and we come out and we run and we are going to be heavy on play action because play action works no matter what you do. You don't even got to run the ball well to get linebackers to suck in to get somebody behind them. So that's what this league is turning into, is a lot of
suck them in to get them behind them.
Run the ball, play action. Say again.
So suck them in to get behind them. Good bit. Ooh, my.
All right, boy. So I was talking in the context of anyway, but yeah, like that's what it's been the last, like that's where we are in the league now. It's like it's more towards balance. Try to get more towards a balance 50 game than what it was. It made more sense to go 65-35.
Yeah, Kyle, I be hearing about how Kyle Shanahan don't actually like good quarterbacks. Like he rather just some mid out there, and the mid gotta listen.
Well, I mean, the main thing is if you're running bootlegs all the time, the field's gonna be split in half, so you ain't got to read the whole field.
Yeah, but man, I was watching this game and I was just like, this nigga Drake May is like, this is bad. He's a young guy, right, but it's like, maybe they shouldn't even been here. Look, they was calling that nigga the schedule. I was alerted, and I'm not ever going to get upset about seeing the Patriots lose. Like, I have Patriots PTSD. Like, but
this is the worst ass whooping they ever took in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, this
well, in our lifetime.
In our lifetime.
I wasn't alive when the Bears beat the hell out of them like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't alive for that.
It was just like the Seahawks was just like, it was just all over them. Like, in a way where it was like,
team. They were the best. See, this is the thing, right? Because the reason why this felt weird as a game going into it is because the Seahawks, from a DVOA advanced metric standpoint, is one of the better teams of this era. Mm-hmm. But the part is, it came out of nowhere because it happened this year. This isn't their second year on the scene. This is like the first year that this team is like this. So people don't really know what to make of it. So like, I'm going into it, I'm like, well, yeah, they're the better team. And then in the playoffs, they played even better than they did in the regular season. So for me, it's like, all right, this is the team. Like the Super Bowl was that NFC Championship game against the Rams. Mm-hmm. For me, right? So the Patriots come in and it's like, they're not good. No, they're not talented enough. They're not as talented as the Seahawks. Yeah. And when they kicked it off, that's exactly what it proved to be. Like last year it was a similar situation, except it's Mahomes, and it's like I said to you, it's like it's gonna feel like regardless of whoever wins, it's gonna be like, James, you dummy. Of course the Eagles are gonna win. They're more talented. They're way more talented. But then the Chiefs would have been like, of course, James, they're gonna win. They got fucking Patrick Mahomes. Of course, Jerome was gonna win. So, but ultimately, that game it proved the better team won, and that's going to be what it's going to be for the NFC and AFC for a while now. And
so
until
Sam
they figure out how
Darnold
to balance these rosters out with talent around these quarterbacks that are making a shit ton of money, whether that's Herbert, whether that's Burrow, or that's Lamar, or that's
Caleb Williams.
Well, Caleb Williams on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
And that's
they're gonna have to pay him eventually.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. Yeah. We'll see how that goes with him, right? But like, because for all the talent, like he's been volatile. Like he had that was a terrible throw to send him home, or whatever else. I'm not mad at it because also it's weird for me because like I don't like the Bears, so it's like whenever the Bears have like someone I like, whether it's like whether it's Cutler, who I liked. Don't ask me why I like Cutler, but I liked Cutler. Whether it was Julius Peppers or it was Brandon Marshall or even Urlacher, he's always like, I wish you were on a different team. I don't like these niggas. But anyway, I
saw Sam Darnold
in the AFC. They're all really good, but like Burrow, he's never. I don't know if he's ever making the playoffs again because of how bad that roster's constructed.
Yeah.
We got the receiver, we got the 2 wide receivers, and we got the 1 defensive end, and the rest of the roster is there's only like 30% of the salary cap after that.
Yeah.
They're fucked. They're just fucked. It is what it is.
Super Bowl winning quarterback Sam Darnold, and I just had to hear them just try to will it into existence. Like this is something special we was watching. I'm like, no, it ain't. Nigga, like,
so think about it, like your perspective of how you think about the NFL, right? You watch NFL about the quarterback play, right?
Yeah. This nigga was sorry.
You're open-minded enough to recognize that, like, he's only but so good, but this roster of everybody around him makes the team go, and he's actually like a top 10-ish starter. He's a competent starter.
He looks like he's anywhere between like 15 on a given day. Oh, he could get hot. Maybe he's a top 7 guy. Oh, maybe.
And he can get hot. So, right, like, I mean, because if you watch the NFC Championship game, you've been like, oh, nah, he's better than a top 10 quarterback. He seems like someone is playing like at the top 8 level, right? But that's the thing, right? You understand that, like, this ain't like this isn't like basketball where like the player matters so much more than everything else. Like, they got some guys over there, right? Like the dude Kenneth Walker, he's been good all year, and then he had an all-time postseason run. Like, he had 100 yards in every single postseason game.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, and he wins Super Bowl MVP. He had 160 yards total offense in a defensive struggle where, like, the defenses on both sides are better than both offenses.
Right. So you couldn't give Sam Darnold the MVP if you wanted to.
No, they weren't trying to, so it didn't matter. Like, it was either going to go to, like, May or it was going to go to Stafford, and Stafford should have won it. So Stafford won it. And Stafford was excellent this year.
Oh, I meant MVP of the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, it won't happen.
Let's go to this.
Because all the real yards came off the ground.
So Anwar Star, when pointing this out, people with Terry Funk profile pictures have some of the worst takes in wrestling. My guy Funk deserves better. This is something that I pointed out like well over a year ago or whatever. When you see these niggas on Twitter with the Terry Funk avatars, get these niggas the fuck out of here.
What happened this time?
Hipster ass loons that just. One of them said Tekla is by far the worst woman to win the AEW championship.
No, she's way better than Britt Baker.
What are we saying?
No, here's the thing, though. If you've only watched AEW, I could see how you can see her putting her at the bottom, but I've seen what she's done elsewhere.
Holy shit!
So unfortunately, get the fuck out of here.
Like, no, like. Yeah. So, like, look, now that I've said this, whenever
I forgot Saraya was champ.
Correct. Now that y'all have seen this or whatever, when y'all see them Terry Funk avatars, be on the lookout.
See, I've only ever had like one run-in with a Terry Funk avatar, and they were mad at me because I went out with the Dump Matsumoto thing.
See, it's those motherfuckers.
No, but here's the thing. They came at me thinking that I was bashing just Joshi in general or All Japan Women's in general. I was like, no, Manami Toyota, Aja Kong, Akira Hokuto, Karo Ito, Jujutsu Gaio, Devil Masami, right, Jaguar Yokota, right, like, all of them, great. No notes. Dump Matsumoto's not like those. People pretend like she's like those. That's my point. Yeah. So
yeah, so it's
like I don't know how many of these people are out there.
Oh man, I'd be seeing them all the time. Oh, so yeah. But back to Super Bowl.
I mean, look, you could just start muting people because you know what? I started muting people. I'm not gonna block, just mute people. Like, you know, as I like to mention often on the show, like I love the gender wars. So when the gender wars on my timeline, and it's like this is fucking stupid. What I do now. Instead of like going through the things, I just go straight to their thing and find a location. Oh, Nigeria. Oh, Kenya. Oh, this is your third name change, and this your most recent name change. Oh, was this year? Mute. You're a bot.
It's pretty funny.
You're a troll. Bot. I'm just muting you. Get off my screen. Get away from me.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the halftime show with Bad Bunny. Comes out there, probably one of the more visually impressive performances I think you might ever see. Yeah. Like, regardless of where it was, like, I didn't know what the man was saying, but like, I don't really know his songs, and like, actually, anything I ever have like come across with Bad Bunny has been forced upon me. Like, I've never gone seeking it out or anything. Bunny.
Fair enough. I get you.
Right, and it's like, all right, yeah, I like Cardi B. Oh, she has a song with this guy named Bad Bunny on it. Okay,
and that
cool.
shit rang off too.
Right. I was like, so I heard that, and then I'm a pro wrestling fan. Oh yeah, Bad Bunny's coming to wrestle. I know nothing about him except he was on a Cardi B song or whatever. Like, so,
and then he started having matches, and them shits rang off too.
Right. And then he had a fucking awesome match. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then, it was always this big thing. You don't know who Bad Bunny is. You don't know. I'm like, I mean, no.
Here's like, this is a big deal. And part of the we also talk about the fracturing of like the monoculture, right? Like all this fragmentation, right? He is as big as the Taylor Swifts, as the Bruno Marses, as the Weeknds. Like, he's a top 5 act. He's a stadium guy, right? And that speaks to the great segregator of not only race but especially language. Like, we have American acts that are in that same tier. They go overseas, they go to different continents, and they sell and they pack the house. And hell, I remember it was Taylor Swift on, I think it was the Eras Tour. I think she did I think it was
Tokyo or something,
it was
right?
In Tokyo. I think it was Budokan. Maybe Budokan.
No, she did the Dome, I thought.
Okay, yeah, you're right, it was Dome. She did like 3 or 4 of them shits, and they all sold out. Now, don't be wrong. Like, you know about the idol culture, and she's the biggest pop star in the world. So, or she, one of the biggest pop stars in the world. Of course, they're big in that, and also. So anyway, that don't happen that way for the reverse. Whereas, like, BTS, right? The biggest K-pop band in the world, right? If they come here. Can they do Madison Square Garden 4 or 5 times? Oh, that's not even an accurate thing. Yeah, they probably could. But can they do, like, MetLife?
Yeah, can they do Jerry World?
Can they do Jerry World? Can they do SoFi 4 times? I don't think so. Maybe that's unfair because that's a football stadium compared to baseball stadiums. But my point is that, like, a stadium show, like, you put, like, 50,000 people in there, can they do that? I don't know. And if they can't, that don't surprise me because of how backwards this country is where it comes to that. It's like everything has to come to us. We never have to go towards the sound, So like, I watched the Super Bowl with my folks, and it's one of those things that frustrated me because like we watch pro wrestling in different languages. We like the music, we like the wrestling, there's different things. I've watched, dubbed anime, I've watched subbed anime, any of that. So like, I grew up in it. That's not a barrier. It's not a barrier for entry to me when it comes to this my language. Like, first off, me when it comes to music, does it sound good? First things first. Does it sound good? To me, all the Bad Bunny songs they play sound good to me. I don't need to know. Like, it would be nice if I knew what he was saying. That would add to it because he might be saying something crazy on the lyrics.
Right? He'd be like, "Worship the devil, nigga!" Like,
right. He might be saying something crazy. But the main thing is, I've heard songs in Japanese. I've heard songs in Spanish, and I've heard songs in Italian, French, so forth, so on. If I like it, if I like how it sounds, that's all that matters to me for that particular time because I'm in the moment. So I'm hearing that for that whole run. I like everything he's playing. Then the Lady Gaga comes out there for her part for that duet she did with Bruno Mars, and I like it too. Obviously, they did the merengue version. I think it's merengue. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. But obviously, they did a different version, right? So I'm liking everything they did. And then afterwards, unsolicited, what'd you think of the show? I liked it for the same reason I explained. Like the music sounded good to me. I don't know what he's saying. The music sounded good to me. I liked the message at the end. And it was like, oh, so you. And then they both were like, I don't like it. And I was like, so why do you ask me You only asked me so that you could give me your opinion. But I was never going to ask you your opinion because I knew how this was going to go. So so basically you baited me. So now I'm like, you know, now I'm kind of pissed because I'm like, why even waste my time? Why even waste my time?
Look, man, like I know what they're like what the deal is, right? So it's like I have never had an issue with enjoying Spanish reggae, which is like a huge part of like when you're in the Northeast, like that's what they play at parties. Like that's what they play. Like they're playing fucking what's his name? Like Don Omar or whatever. Like nigga, I love Dancehall Kuduro for years. Right. I don't know what the fuck that nigga's talking about or whatever. But it's like
I'll go further, right? People that are speaking English, there are plenty of people whose English I don't really recognize and pick up that well. Like when we were in the early 2000s when there was like 90s. Back before they fractured, like all black music was basically playing on the radio station. So you get the dance hall. I don't know some of them dance hall lyrics.
Right. I got another one for you, James. You should have asked him. You should have asked him like, so y'all understood what James Brown was saying all the time, or what? You know.
Well, my point.
Y'all understood Michael Jackson from Dangerous On.
My point for them was y'all like rap songs all the time, and y'all can't tell me all the lyrics, and then they were just like. Kind of stuck because they knew I had got them, and they were trying to do like, well, this is different. Like it's not. The only thing I think
it
doesn't, and if it doesn't, if you need lyrics for the music to move you, then quite frankly, that ain't music. You want poetry.
So I think the only thing, like I was saying before, I've had no problem enjoying these songs at parties or anything like that. I think the staggering thing for a lot of people is seeing it as like this is the top billing. Now, like this is not something that's compartmentalized, in a party environment, in a, something on a radio station you might click on or something like that. But they're seeing it and they got no choice but to turn away from it. And then you add on all the fucking manure that comes out of conservative media on him. Yeah. So I think that's the thing for a lot of people. They were like, I just don't like, how do I look at this and think this is like the biggest thing like that's coming at me on the biggest show of the year that everybody watches? They were like, I think that's what a lot of people are like freezing up on. And then they're like, well, what does this mean for the future? Like they're taking themselves on all these like
replacement theory for fucking musical acts at the Super Bowl.
They're gonna take, and then like the people who they want to get on stage and stuff like that. I think a lot of that stuff is happening.
And on a timeline or just people you actually care
people
about?
In general, like because it's like, all right, like me, like I'm almost indifferent about it. I'm like, okay, I can watch, I can appreciate the visual performance. I can look at, I can say a lot of the things I said last year about Kendrick Lamar, about Bad Bunny with the breath control, being up and down that fucking stadium, being a stadium performer. Like, he was out of this world in that aspect. It's not my music, but it's like, it ain't gotta be for, I think that's where I'm ultimately landing. It doesn't have to be for me.
But that's the thing though, as we have fractured more and more and more, there are less acts available that can be for everybody. Because when we were, and quite frankly, when there were acts for everybody, they weren't always for everybody. Like, you can put the Who out there if you want to. They got the catalog for it. But
that ain't our music.
When you put them out there, you are alienating people that don't listen to them. Right? And there's definitely segregation amongst racial lines when it comes to those rock bands that was put out there. So now that it's time for the Rock Nation era of it or whatever else, the shows have been markedly better through this about decade at this point.
Yeah, whoever comes typically in the last
they haven't missed
6 years. It's like they show up.
Not a bad one. The worst one might be the Usher one.
It's like they show up. They got their own creative ideas behind it. It feels contemporary somewhat. Yeah. We're seeing, when I was growing up, it never felt like we had people at the peak of their powers, maybe outside of like when they had NSYNC and Nelly and stuff like that, but that was clearly like something else than this is. Like then it started,
it started being for legacy acts.
Right. So, and it was just like, oh, it's a Super Bowl halftime show who I wouldn't even watch. Like, so I don't know, man. I think a lot of people got, like, bro, they got baited by the culture war, remember, like on this, and then
yeah. And I mean, because everything has to be a fucking grievance, so everything is being this exhausting thing, and it's like, you're right. Yeah,
it was just, it almost like I don't even want to say it overshadowed anything because like I didn't care like they were gonna do another halftime show, and I think a lot of people did not care as the numbers showed that they were gonna do something like some other shit far over there on YouTube that looks like COVID era or something like God bless them, but
I mean, look, I am a person that believes that
I ain't seen one Latino person upset at that. I saw these people damn near like in tears, happy, and looking at the representation and like I got a little bit of that in me. I didn't really grow up with the Spanish and all that, but it was just like, nah, man, these folks got their own stuff that they're needing to express in art as well, and it's
right.
it's like, yo, man, like I'm not here for like if people want to explain why they don't like it, I feel like you have to avoid just simple things like I don't know what he's saying, and I reject I don't think someone like him should be here, but it's like you gotta do better.
There is no,
I feel like
I don't feel like there is a genuine way for someone to say that like they didn't like this, and once you ask them to be honest about, once you start asking questions, how long you tease out before you get to something that sounds fundamentally crazy,
right?
Because it's not like did the sounds of the music sound bad? No. You didn't understand the language? Okay, fair enough. Did you not like the visuals? What was happening with the wedding, and then like the power line thing, or whatever else? Did you not like the part where like he comes out there and runs down the Americas, the whole entire fucking Western Hemisphere? I don't know how you can genuinely be like, I don't like this, or I found this offensive, or I'm not even gonna give this a chance.
Right.
Whatever else, unless it's like you've turned it into something that it wasn't, because like Bad Bunny is not that kind of artist.
Yeah,
if you made an argument about Kendrick Lamar, you can make it's easier to make that with Kendrick Lamar based on his catalog than Bad
and
Bunny.
Also fuck rap. You can easily like people will ride with you on fuck rap, but like,
but look, shit. He made Good Kid.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, he has songs about racial profiling,
Yeah.
He has something like, all right, we finna overcome this bullshit these white people put on us, right? Like, Bad Bunny ain't necessarily have that to my knowledge. Maybe he does, but I ain't never heard it.
Look, I ain't seen it.
I haven't heard it expressed in that way when I've heard people talk about Bad Bunny that are bilingual.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, if you ain't fuck with it.
But look, I'm not adding like it's the Bruno Mars or Beyonce.
Exactly. You don't have to like. I'm not saying people.
I just enjoyed it.
I'm about to say I'm not saying people have to like it.
Right.
Like, but it's like, okay, man. If you find yourself in the camp of I didn't like this, right? I would do some soul searching as to figure out why. You don't have to tell anybody. You just think about it and be like, what drove me here? Is it as simple as a language barrier? Is it as simple as like, a style of music? Like, is it something that you were told in media or what was shown, or the political environment that like made you dig in before even giving the guy like a chance?
Right.
So I don't know. But J. Cole dropped his album. Did you have a chance to listen to the new J. Cole album?
No. And as I heard people give their thoughts on it in clips, I was like, I fucked around and the timeline got to me and I clicked on stuff I should have clicked on and auto-played stuff I shouldn't have auto-played. And like, I'm going to have to give it some time and get away from, to get that stuff out of my mind before I give it an honest listen. Because right now, I've heard people not slander this thing, but like, it ain't no classic, and people are like, it's got to be a classic, get the fuck out. I think that's the bar people put to him, and I'm like, I don't know if that's fair, so I need to get away from this, and then once all that dies down, I'll give it my honest listen in a week or two. So what are your thoughts on it?
I would say
the thing that I heard was like, people were like, I expected more, I expected something different, and it's like, I hate criticism like that, but go ahead.
Yeah, so like obviously you've heard about the fall off going back to 2018 or so, and it's a cool concept. I would agree that it's not a classic album, but it's like it's a good album. Like it's something I think you need to listen to all the way through to really get involved. The first time I was listening to it, I was skipping. I was like, I'm not really feeling it. I'm not feeling it. But then like I just let it run, and then I started noticing the concepts and the stories, and some of that stuff really resonated with me, being like kind of within maybe Cole's high school age, maybe like I'm like maybe 4 years younger than Cole, or four or 5 years younger than him. And so like I feel like our perspectives of the world and how we view rap are kind of similar, and just seeing, you know, how old you are and stuff like that, and the things that you have to deal with. I think there are no real obvious hit records that jump off to me, and it's like
he was never. When's the last time you think J. Cole was trying to make a hit record?
I think he's tried to do some of that stuff in like 2018, maybe the KOD stuff. But
okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But
because the KOD song in itself is catchy as shit.
Yeah.
So that's fair.
So I would also say like it just felt like a lot of insular things on this album, like as far as like the stories, and it was like this stuff lives firmly within the J. Cole universe, you know, so to say. It's like the guy that you haven't heard from in a while, and here are some of his latest stories or whatever, but it's nothing you haven't ever heard from him. It's like, this is right, exactly what we expect kind of from him. And it was like, I think you got to ask yourself, is that a bad thing or not? Is somebody just living up to expectation? I think he lived up to expectation, but if you're looking for more, if you're looking for him to push the boundaries of his sound, of his, you know, of anything as far as like his concepts, like I feel like the concepts are something I could have heard on a song like Wet Dreams. Like there's like 4 or 5 of those different songs. He has a song on there called Quick Trip where he raps about you know, meeting a fan and not wanting to take the picture or whatever, and then at a gas station, and then the fan basically kind of breaks down, like was coming up to him. The fan didn't recognize him at first, and then the fan started telling him how much he was a fan of his, like, you know, would pump up and, you know, with his friends when people didn't want to listen to Cole and stuff like that. It was like this whole thing, whatever. And it was like, it was dope how he did it. He basically remade I Used to Love Her, and then it was like picked up kind of where Common left off, but then did it kind of from like the 2000s forward. And he was like, you know, I loved hip hop, so I went to New York looking for her, but by the time I got there, she moved to Atlanta. Like, and then like it was like, well, what do I do now? Like, and then I go look for her on the internet and stuff like that. And then like, you know, there's a whole bunch of just cool concepts. Do I think he's like going and making the best raps and stuff like that? That's not this album. And I think a lot of people wanted to, they're caught in the battle thing with him. There's none of addressing any of that on this album or whatever. I'm
sorry. How many songs do Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Drake have to make address this, where people realize they've already addressed this shit?
I think the song where he's rapping backwards about his life is fucking incredible. It's basically like Benjamin Button on a song. Yeah. But, you know, he can't dodge the boring stuff. Like, I like the stuff that he puts together. But the stuff that he wants to rap over, that's just not the way the game went. Like, so, like, you're dropping into the J. Cole zone listening to this album, and there's not, and I think maybe he could have made it a little shorter, I think, but I'm not gonna like 24 songs, but I enjoy it as a full listen, and I'll go in and be like, you know, all right, like there's a lot of these different kind of interpolations, like there's a What's Your Fantasy one that actually was kind of interesting on there, like as far as like how the beats play out. There's like a song that he made about basically being married. It's called Life Sentence, and then like the hook is almost like a DMX and the How's It Going Down. Like he basically like redoes that. There's a lot of that though. There's like 4 or 5, maybe like 5 or 6 of those, and it's like, oh, okay, but it also fits in the J. Cole zone because he's done stuff like this, like when he was remaking the Outkast art of storytelling songs before. Like this is what he does. Like it just feels like another entry rather than like, oh, I'm about to just, like where Kendrick Lamar was like hit you with damn out of left field, right? And it was like, oh, it's not all jazzy and whatever and super artsy. It was niggerish. And then GNX was like, it's niggerish. Like,
yeah, there's good chunks of this.
J. Cole, I feel like it just like goes in a straight. Like you're not gonna get the J. Cole GNX album.
Let me phrase
like you're not gonna get that.
Right, You'll get a verse or a song here and there, but you're not.
He does that on features.
Right. You're not gonna get 5 songs on one of his discs. It's like on his collections of music playlists, whatever you call it. You're not gonna get that from J. Cole. That's never been him.
Yeah.
So, I just. To me, the people complaining, the complaint was like, "Oh, more of the same." And it's like, to me, I'm like, after hearing people complain about Bruno Mars recently, it's like, these are people that have crafted, that are clearly talented, have crafted great work over their time in the limelight, doing what they've done. For you to say more of the same is like, so more good music is what you're saying, and that's boring. Fuck y'all. Like y'all, this like I low like that is not a critique. That's not a critique worth like for me to like. Oh, they did more things that like people would like them for. It's like like this is for his core fans.
I was gonna say, so I think
nothing about J. Cole over the last decade has said anything about like he wants to be as big as Kendrick Lamar or Drake. Nothing has said that. So why are you expecting it now?
So I think the deal is like, if you need 22 points, J. Cole's gonna give you 22 points. If you got to score 15 points, J. Cole's going to give you 22 points.
Yeah.
And if you got to score 30 points, he might give you 24 points. Like that's what it is.
But do you think that's fair to him to be like, "Hey, we want you to score 30 points," when it's like, is that fair?
I guess it's based on perspective. It's like do you consider J. Cole to be like the greatest rapper of his generation, or like some people, or do you take J. Cole's words himself when he talks about being this guy, this incredible rapper, or do you listen to like the features themselves and be like, okay, you see like the skills, and then you're like, all right, when it's time to lock in on you, none of that is present. It's like you're giving us like this other thing, and it's like, what if I wanted some of the stuff that you do on features, like on your album? I think people almost are, but confused by him.
He. How do I say this? Okay, so you know how people talk about certain wrestlers being wrestlers.
Yeah,
it's like the people they influence are going to be bigger stars than the people that actually like Regal. Regal's one of those, right? Like, Regal's influence is way bigger than his actual, what he did on tape, right? Malenko, another one of those guys, right? Where it's like, I just think he's a rapper's rapper. And he's a rapping nerd. No, not saying it derogatory, but like, this is what he wanted to do.
But I understood and took in the album just fine.
He can do other shit here and there, but that's not what he wants to do. So therefore, if he don't want to do it, what the fuck makes you think he's going to do it? He hasn't done it the whole time.
I don't think people look at it through that lens, though, because like I understand that, like I'm a rapper, so I can listen to it, and I know exactly like what his influence. I can tell what all his shit is pulling from, and I could just tell, oh, it's another concept in the same box or whatever. I think people want him to discard the box altogether and really not give us the music that J. Cole wants to give us. They want the music that they want out of J. Cole, and it's like.
So he really is Nas.
It's a selfish thing. He is this generation's Nas.
He really is Nas.
He is this generation's Nas.
Like Nas gives you Illmatic, and they were like, "This is the best nigga that's ever existed." This is the best technical rapper we've ever heard in our lives. We can't like the future. And he's what was it 21, 19? When did that come out?
He was like 19 or whatever.
19. It's like, oh my god, this is gonna be his. And then it's like, nah, don't turn out that way because this is not what he wants to do. Like he doesn't want to make smash hit records or whatever else. He probably finds that to be boring. Right? Kendrick Lamar, a lot is like, it seems like he wants it, like that seems to be boring until he does it. And it's like, oh yeah, he could absolutely do this if he wanted to, but he don't at his heart. He'll do this just to get you people to shut the fuck up. But what he wants to make is Miss Morale. He doesn't actually want to make GNX or Damn. He wants to make the People Butterfly, Section 80, and Good Kid, Mad City. He doesn't. These are things that get you to shut up from time to time. Like it's one for you, one for me. It's kind of thing.
Cole wants to
do all for me. I guess
he wants to explore concepts that he can write about and like completely dissect,
right.
like in every way possible.
Right.
That's what he wants to do. I think that really excites him. Like if you're on there and you're
that should exist. That should exist.
But it's like, all right, is that allowed to be number one? And I think he's been put up there so long where it's like now people are just like, you know what? Also, I think in contrast with Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and him, right? Mm-hmm. Have these guys like degraded slightly, like in front of our eyes? Like as far as like, okay, are any of them at their peak? But as a result of the game never changing, there was no one to ever really come along and displace them. But they're, you know, perhaps at a weaker creative point now than they've been, you know, in their past. Because we can definitely say that for Drake. Drake's
going through a lot of weird things, like with the whole music label thing that's affecting him right now, and then also getting his ass spat in by in the battle.
Yeah,
like that's another thing. So,
and then Kendrick, I think, went different enough to kind of dodge any of those accusations, right? But Cole didn't do what either of them did. I think Drake is like almost mutated at this point, but J. Cole has just carried like. He could have put this album out 10 years ago and been the same album.
Yeah. Maybe the sonic's a little different, but that sounds about right. Yeah.
And
he
it's
does
like,
him.
Yeah, I gotta wonder, you know, if this is his swan song to rap or whatever. It's almost it's a good way to go out before the bottom falls off, like kind of like the album says. Like
I think it's the music industry. It's a major music industry. There's a lot of dollars in this anyway.
Oh, he's lying for sure. He's gonna put another album out. Ain't no fucking way.
I don't want to talk about that. Like, just find out. But like the whole idea of like, if this is what it's always been, and he don't switch it up, like I kind of admire that. Like he was true to himself in that way, or true to like this is what I do. This is what people that expect out of me want. This is what they get. Like we've seen plenty of artists have their lane, create their own lane, made their own wave, and then it's third album time or fourth album time, or their deals almost over with, and they want to switch up, and then it, you know. So for me,
I'd probably go like a 7 out of 10 on the album, I would say.
Okay.
And
so why are people talking like it's a fucking 4 out of 10?
I think they're so caught up in they want to answer for last year, and they want to answer for, you know, everything that he kind of bragged about is just being, you know, the best rapper, and it was all this shadow boxing essentially that he was doing. Like people wanted him to kind of lean into that, and he didn't. He just did his songs about his concepts and didn't really use like the most exciting beats in the world. So, and he's doing more singing on some parts too, and it's like that's not your strength.
And there's also, you know, I remember when what was the shit with Miguel?
All I Want Is You.
All night.
Oh yeah, that one.
Not Earthquake.
I know you're talking about Power Trip.
Yes, Power Trip. Because I was like, I know the hook isn't actually in the title of the song. Yeah, Power Trip. So Power Trip, the story was that like you know about this all the time, Rich. Rapper sings they hook for themselves or whatever else. It gets out, it gets demoed, people hear it or whatever else, and then eventually people will be like, hey man, or A&R or whoever who is helping to collaborate with him be like, hey man, put someone that can actually sing on this shit, right? And they put Miguel on there. He didn't want to put Miguel on there, and then Miguel got on there and it went, right? Cole's at this point now where it's like, I can do whatever the fuck I want on this shit. I do these songs without features. I do what I want now. So yeah, all the singing that you say I should be singing on there, guess what? I'm big enough. You gonna hear none but me. Like, remember T.I. Live in the Sky?
What's up?
Remember T.I. Live in the Sky off the King album?
Yeah, I heard a T.I. one of that. That
was on a mixtape first. And I remember, and I had forgot this, so Alex mentioned this to me, my cousin Alex. I totally forgot about this. Alex had played the song for me, and he had said that I had said to him, "Hey man, T.I. need to get someone to sing the hook for this." And then he got Jamie Foxx on it, and then it ended up being a single.
Yeah,
like, that happens a lot. It happens a lot. So yeah, at this point, whatever, man. And you know, the person to blame for all of that really is Kanye. Because Kanye was the first dude to be like, I can't really sing, but like he had the backing of so much of his music sounded like was gospel church influenced or whatever else. He can go get a choir to be in the backing of it as he sings his struggle notes. And then what happened was, the goddamn T-Pain blew up with that auto-tune. He said, I'm finna go out here and give you 808s of heartbreak. But you listen to, the first two Kanye albums, and that's exactly what it is. It's like, he's just holding it in the road as there's a choir backing, and it sounds incredible because it sounds earnest. And then you flash forward 20 years, you're like, he's a fucking Nazi now. This guy felt like this dude felt like the most sincere person you had ever heard rap, and then all of a sudden he turns to a Nazi.
It was a lie.
Fuck. Let's move on before I get upset about Kanye again for the millionth time.
Oh man. Actually, King of the North, I do know how to change that out. I'll put it in there because I put all the other sounds in there in the Discord. So
you didn't put that one sound on soundboard, did you?
Which one?
The craze one from the movie.
Actually, it is on there.
Nope. I beg you not. I beg you not to play that. I beg you. Please don't ever play that shit, Rich. I don't know why you thought that would be appropriate to put that in here. I don't know why you would even do that. Because you know the thing is, right? Because once you hit it, they're gonna come for me, and it's gonna make, and I'm gonna have to hold down and be mad, and we get off air and be like, I'm not even I ain't gonna throw my dog on the bus like this. But I'm gonna get the slander. No, don't do it. Because if you do it, I'm gonna throw you under the bus. How about that? They're gonna write that shit at you instead of me.
Oh man. So I had this one thing on the list about Brody King being banned from TV. I actually did kind of hear from people at AEW about it. So that whole thing.
What were the different thoughts on it? I guess we got to give the backdrop because did Meltzer start this story and it ended?
Meltzer started the shit himself.
Started this topic of discussion.
Yes, and this goes back to last week, to where he was claiming that AEW needed to essentially be apolitical and aware of the fuck ice chants really getting out of hand.
Yeah.
We, of course, last week we saw Brody King getting all types of mainstream coverage, NBC News, various senators. They started trying to pile on for political points, and just a bunch of people weighing in that they're looking for people that talk about wrestling to kind of speak to it, but all those people that they end up talking to are like marks and don't really know what the fuck they're talking about. And it's just like this whole thing. It's like, all right, wrestling it's like these people are shocked, for one, that a fuck ice thing would be chanted by a wrestling crowd, and then they find out it's not WWE, and then they're like, hold on, there's left wing wrestling. This is what they're saying. And I'm like, this ain't necessarily. I was like, this ain't necessarily left wing wrestling. It's just not literally in the bed with the Trump administration. Yeah. Like that's what's going on in WWE, right? But of course, like, you know, it goes, and Dave like kind of jumps out there with this thing like AEW needs to be apolitical and all this stuff, and I was like, where are those rules for WWE? And I was like, if the rules are different for the number one promotion, just say that. Like, and then like,
I don't think Meltzer has any problem saying that. I think what he's saying is that's in almost, it goes without saying. It's almost rhetorical.
Yeah, and then he was insistent about them not playing any of the political stuff on WWE TV, and I'm like, Dave, that's absolutely incorrect.
Yep.
They were at SummerSlam, showing fucking Trump and Triple H together on the video screen. The crowd was booing.
Yeah.
Like, no. So, like, what I heard was, like Dave kind of like jumped out there. I guess this may have been, to be fair to Dave, this may have been aggregation. I did not hear the clip, or the Wrestling Observer Radio to where he was talking about this, but I saw the aggregation of it where they were like, he was like, essentially like WBD held Brody King off the show. I was made aware.
Above Tony Khan,
yeah, I was made aware. I actually kind of heard like two different stories. So, look, who knows at this point what really happened? I heard it in one thing that, Dave kind of already had it in his head that this was going to be bad. Obviously, he's ranted for a week about this, so he was going to, kind of put it one way, and he made an assumption because Brody wasn't on the show. He was linking up two and two in his mind, but I was told this was WBD not doing this, and he was not banned, and he was headed to Australia. So I don't know. Like, and I've also heard the contrary. So it's a lot. And, I had a question. I was like, if WBD, because WBD then released statements through SRS, who may or may not be happy at various times to run stuff that is conflicting of Dave.
No, you saw who WB emailed also? You saw that today?
Jeremy, right?
Yes!
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? So I cover New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like,
yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, so like WBD then says, "Hey, we did not ban Brody King," and I'm like, okay. And they run that through Rick Aquino at Sports Illustrated. John Alba gets this message. Matt Men podcast, Zarian, and all of them get this. SRS, as I mentioned, and then I'm like, huh. Then I started thinking to myself, if WBD did ban him, right? Like say the opposite was true.
They have to tell the truth.
Correct. I was like, remember when they had Jay Briscoe? They didn't ever come out and say, yeah, we done banned the Briscoes from appearing, on television before. We never got no story like that. Right. So like, it feels like some decision was made and he was not on the show, right?
Yeah.
And now, whatever is going to be going forward, that is not accounting for why he wasn't on the show last night. And they're in Southern California. Perhaps a hot spot. I don't know. I maintain that if what Dave was saying was correct, they're going to fuck around in
get
like...
him over. Or get that Chan over at least.
They're going to get the Chan over or Brody King or both.
Yep.
And he would obviously end up a bigger star, however, right? And I had a tweet take off, and I had, of course, dumbasses try to. I'm like, okay, I'll just stick in the fries. So, I saw this whole thing, and I'm just like, this whole thing has existed almost outside of the influence of Maxwell Jacob Friedman, which is fucking hilarious. Like, because like Brody King wore this shirt one time, like last summer, right? And I think he has the shirts for sale, I think, through AEW Shop, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't know that.
Or he has them independently, I think. And then they're basically...
I didn't know he was selling that shirt. I thought he just wore it.
Yeah, like, or it's a different one. So it has like his logo and all that, and like the ski mask with the ice stuff, right? And he's donating proceeds off the shirt sold to, organizations that combat that shit, right?
All right, that's cool.
And gets the chance last week, and then now it's like, is he going to be the fuck ice guy? Like, and then like, there could be a danger in that in one aspect, but in another, I mean, it's really hard to like, unless you are trying to kowtow to the administration, If WBD is caught up in sales of the business or whatever to Netflix, and they're needing a signature or two,
Well, with these gigantic mergers that keep happening, or whatever else, like not being in the shit, not being in Trump's shit. Doghouse makes it go smoother.
Yeah, and I guess like the thing for me is like this came to wrestling, right? From like this isn't something pro wrestling fans I think normally have to deal with, right? As far as like seeing the reaction to it, people then seeing the reaction to the reaction with Brody King, as far as like, damn, this ain't fair to Brody King if he was banned or anything that may happen to him in the future or whatever.
Right.
I was talking
here's a funny
Josh from
part.
Keepin It Strong Style.
Forget this part. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go your point. Sorry.
I was gonna say I was talking to Josh from Keepin It Strong Style, and there was a reporter. I don't remember his name that said he was gonna contact. Basically his contacts at the White House or whatever, because he's a big AEW fan, big Brody King fan, like trying to get somebody on the horn for comment on this. And the thing was like, is that kind of low stakes? Sure. Obviously, ICE's actual infractions are probably more worthy of being called out, obviously. But not some of that stuff doesn't affect everyone's lives the same way. And there's a level of compartmentalization, I think, with that, to where it's like, yo, here's my interest, and it's even affecting this. Like, and then it's like,
can't escape.
You can't escape this thing. So it's like, I think there are so many like interesting aspects of this, as far as like people's reaction, what will happen to Brody King, what actually fucking happened, because like I said, I've got multiple kind of stories here going on. And Dave like kind of blowing the story up himself and then coming out and basically having to clear it up. So it was like, it wasn't Dave's finest hour, but it was like, I don't know who he's talking to, who he may be getting like info from, who, may not even be in the company, maybe another company that's talking to Dave, trying to plant seeds and shit. So it's like, there's a bunch of dirty business that's happening regardless here.
Yeah.
But this thing was a topic of Twitter all fucking day. It was like, They had a fucking incredible show last night.
Oh, yes, they did. My God.
Two things. People crying over Chris Statlander, which we're going to get to in a minute. And then Brody King, banned or not banned. Look, I was telling the music video makers, look, y'all got a chance right now. Y'all need to go ahead and make that Brody King highlight reel over banned from TV from Nori. You need to go ahead and get it up there now before the stories start emerging. Just go ahead, get the clout now. I don't know if they did it or not, but if you're hearing this and you make music videos, that's 2,000 likes right there.
So there's something also I thought you were going to get to. So you're talking to Josh about this, like as far as Brody's outlook on this, and like when this kind of stuff pops up on him, right? Pops up around him right now, like he's a challenger of the month. So like, what happens if he just goes back to where he was? Are people going to be like, someone put the thumbs down on him? When it's like, nah,
right.
He's just a challenger of the month. He's supposed to go back to where he was, being the tag team, tough.
Good luck explaining that to people.
That's tough, man. That's tough. Like and my thing is this: like, if you want Finance to be a shot in the arm to give him more, fine. I have no problem with that. As I said to you, like, with. There were a group of guys that like they fit a role that was valuable, and Brody right now is filling that role. And I think also Mark Davis kind of starts trying to step into that. But yeah, man, like I don't think people are gonna be as. I think people are gonna fall for that and be like, yeah, this happened. Be like, nah, he just went back to where he was, and it's gonna be a hard time trying to convince those people otherwise, because they can feel the injustice, It's like, hey man, there's injustice going on in the streets, not in the ring. Relax.
Yeah. Like
that's what's important.
Yeah. So
that's what I'm sorry. Let me finish that. That's what's most important.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be like so there are people like I think you get your anti AEW, maybe your bots, maybe your other people that are like there are people replying to me like nobody knows who Brody King is. I'm like, you're fucking dumb. Like I don't like
cool, bro.
Niggas been all over national news for a fucking week. Fuck off. Like so. It's like there's like a lot of different camps. There's your hardcore. There's gonna be your blue skyer. You know, as you say, AEW fan, where they will have a tough time thinking he was not quote unquote punished whenever he drops back to wherever. Rich. People think maybe it'll turn him heel. Rich. Maybe there's a lot of like things they could do to put the screws to him or whatever. But bro, he's going back down after like Saturday.
Rich, remember the 2021 AEW like World Title Challenge Tournament or whatever else that ended with like Full Gear when Omega beat in the opener Hangman Page. Remember in the setup to that where like Kenny Omega squashed Sonny Kiss? Remember that?
Yes.
They gave Kenny Omega the blues saying that he was anti-LGBT because he squashed Sonny Kiss. And I was like, you must not be as familiar with Kenny Omega as I thought you did. If you think he's anti-LGBT, you think there's self-hatred going on in there? Is he? Do we need to come up with one of those? Yeah, for a what do you call it? Do you need to come up with a term for a sellout in that particular space? Because we got to workshop that off air. But
that'd be a whole whoop. You know, turn this bitch off.
Call that man a QC is crazy. But yeah, so you're right. If that it could happen, especially in that, as you mentioned, you said the blue square, the
blue skyers, as they say.
Yeah, that's nasty.
There's a little bit more,
Shouldn't they be? Never mind. I was about to make a joke about shouldn't they be too busy mourning the loss of their fallen idol, Adam Hangman Page? But all right, man. If you don't like him for that, just like he said, I understand it, but I'm not. Someone asked me what does QC mean. Context clues, my brother. Like I'm not gonna say it out loud. You ain't finna get this show banned. You out your mind?
But yeah, so like whatever happens going forward, hope he has a good match. Hope he, I would like to see, like, look, there's a show in Minnesota that is coming
in May. Right?
Yeah, rather soon.
Yeah. I think it's early May because I saw someone post about it. It's like it had a picture of Shelton Benjamin on it and Tony Storm. I think it's May 5th or some shit like that.
Man, that is going to be one for the books. We gonna see. March.
Shit.
Yeah, so it's a month from now. I was like, nah. Yeah. That's gonna be. Look. All I'm saying is, look.
Boy. Welcome.
Are you better off just holding Brody King off that show, or do you just say fuck it and book him in like a 6-man tag or some shit like that?
No, you put him in the main event, and because they even opened that show. Welcome. So as they letting off the fireworks, you hear.
It's in St. Paul. Okay.
St. Paul, Minneapolis, Twin Cities. It's like St. Pete and Tampa, right? So if it's like they start Dynamite, they play the intro to the song or whatever else, they let out the fireworks, and all of a sudden you hear your boy, oh my God, I'm blanking on the fucking main announcer right now. Mask.
Justin Roberts.
No. Excalibur, like, welcome to Dynamite, and he getting drowned out by hearing fuck Ice chants to start the show. They better start. They better have people entering the ring or starting the match before they let that shit off, so they don't even know there's a fuck Ice. They start chanting because that might get started up immediately.
Yeah,
they open the show with that.
King of the North, March Meltdown with Ice Cube's melting on the logo. Damn, special show, March Meltdown. That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, so we will see what happens with Brody King there. But let's talk about Dynamite last night, brother, because
hey, man,
there are some saying this is one of the great Dynamite shows to ever happen.
How many better hours of American television have you ever seen that first hour?
Oh, man.
That's one of the that was one of the best first hours of American television and pro wrestling ever.
Bro, like, I think it was like, so you start with Swerve and Kenny Omega in the ring, and brother, it don't even matter what the promo was. Like
it worked like crazy.
It don't even matter. Like they said a lot of stuff that made sense about each other. There was some icy lines in there from Swerve to Kenny.
You in my way. You old. You the new gen. Look, you need time for you to move around. You like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick. It's time for the new generation, and I'm part of it. We finna move you old niggas out of here. And Kenny Omega is like, hey man, I didn't call myself the pro wrestling god. They did. And who am I to let them down? I love this thing. And then and when Kenny Omega slapped nigga, I was like,
slap fire out of Swerve.
No, I was like, this is the screen.
Like what?
Oh, he finna kill him.
So here I am, just like I'm watching this thing, and I'm like, "What the fuck's happening?" Like,
Kenny Omega. Look, Kenny Omega is not a violent man. He just happens to work in a violent profession, like right as far as his demeanor, bro. When he slapped him, and he turned around, and I was like, and you see both of them. Like Swerve is letting open the jacket. I thought Swerve was gonna pull out the chain from the jacket, like he got it in a pocket, like I just open deck for you. And then you see Kenny Omega like opening up his cuffs so he knows.
Like, hey man, let's get to it. Run it, like an old schooler,
bro. I was like,
slap that nigga like,
the best part about it was, I was fully expecting security to get in there and break it up before they start fighting again. And then they said, no, we finna fight until we do get to our ending point, and then security sorry ass come out after they've already fought. Yo, bro, look, that match is already sold. They sold it a million times over. This shit, I like what Roman Reigns and CM Punk did for the main event of WrestleMania. I like this more.
Yeah. Omega slapped original life flash before his eyes. So like I thought it was like kind of a not as from Swerve's perspective. I thought it was a not as mean version of him when he walked out on Hangman the first time.
Yes.
I thought it was like, okay, there's still like a certain level of respect there. There's like stuff like that, and then Swerve also has
it was like
he keeps like. He thinks about these letters EVP, and it gets like triggering for him. Right. It looks like he's like, hey man, I'm gonna have to do you how I did them. All right, it sounds like you may be using improper shit to get entitled to contention. Shit was funny. Yeah. I was gonna have to hold them apart. So like you said, they brawl around, and I think also why this worked.
Hold on. So King, you put that on the screen. You put it. Yeah. Rich Villain jumped the guard, bring it up. Now, Rich earlier in the week in the Discord, posted the Jonathan Majors, in between the fight thing, break it up. And our response to you was, move, nigga. Get your ass out the way. I'm trying to see this. I'm trying to see some head busting. Get out of here. Move.
So... Like I was saying, it wouldn't have mattered what the fuck they said. The fan base was already bought in on this matchup. They wanted to see it. It's a huge fucking match. We're doing it next week on Dynamite.
That's insane.
Which is another thing in itself, because I'm like, this is an all-in level main event here.
It is.
Like,
look, there's no guarantee it won't be an all-in main event in 2 or 3 years either.
Right. Like, I think that it is a bold choice. I was talking to Floyd Johnson earlier. This kind of fits amongst other Kenny Omega matches that have been put on TV, where you're like, Danielson, that should have been that's a first time match that should have been some pay-per-view main event. Danielson, Hangman. No, not Hangman. Not Hangman. Danielson, MJF,
Oh yeah.
There was another
There's
one
gotta be more.
that Kenny did. John Moxley when he won the championship.
Cage match, right?
No, when he won the championship in
Okay.
2021.
Yeah. Winter's coming. Yeah.
This one right here, and it's like, why do they? It's like, are they just they're counting on popping a number with Kenny in these spots? Like, because I feel like people would have paid in mass for these ones, but I guess the money, it don't matter.
No, Rich.
The money is made from TV.
The money is made, and there's also this. They specifically talked about about his injury history, and then they both went tumbling off the ramp through the table on the floor. Like, there's no guarantee that we not finna get a Rossi Ogawa time limit draw where they both so beat up that they have to take time off, and also we know what some of the Omega itinerary at this point in time where they take them both off TV for a little bit and then they come back to it at a later time. Look, there's no guarantee. That's not like a final or a semifinal in the Owen or some shit like that.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of different ways they can go with it. They could give you the fucking clean finish if they wanted to.
They can do anything.
They could give you an angle at the end. They could. There's a unlimited options.
Bro, think of how we got to this match. Like, when people talk about booking, right? They brought Swerve back on TV. They brought Kenny Omega back on TV. They had both of them lose to Andrade, and Andrade is the hottest he's ever been on American pro wrestling television right now.
Yep.
And then they got this match that's even bigger than whatever Andrade and Hangman shit is. This was incredible booking. When it happened, I loved it. I was like, bro, that's how they're getting back to this? Like, he goes out there to save him. Kenny Omega has that story where the kayfabe thing where he never rewatches none of this shit. So he's going to be coming back next week like, you fucked me. It's like, nah, man. Like, he was going to stab you with the Don Callis screwdriver. I tried to stop it. I pulled it away, and then, like, the ref got in the way, and then, like, he low-blowed you. So he got the same thing that I did.
And they didn't even bother to explore that angle of it. It was like, you know what? Skip all that. We're going to go straight to the root of the problem. I've been staring daggers in you for fucking months at this point.
Yeah. And it's probably like, because it probably was like, hey, look, I know you do the thing where you pretend like you don't know whatever. We're going to skip over that part because it's gonna make that be a topic of discussion on One Nation Radio. And be like, sorry, Swerve, we still going to talk about it. But yeah. Smart play to be like, we ain't even gonna touch on that part. We ain't even gonna acknowledge that shit or whatever else. We gonna move past it. And man, it was.
Kenny said a couple of things that'd be like, hey man, I got a homeboy that has experience burning houses down that you may know of.
Yep.
Like, so man, I'm fired up for this one. I'm only angry that it's in Sacramento, California. I always promised that I would be ringside like Dave Meltzer at Flair Steamboat the first time Kenny and Swerve ran it. I will not be in Sacramento, California next week, which is almost like is geographically as far as possible, away from me.
Seattle.
I was gonna say that's the only thing that could have been worse.
Be in Alaska.
In Seattle, Washington. That's the only way it could be worse. Like, I'm like, y'all niggas couldn't be in Tennessee or some shit, so I could be like, you know what? The 3 hours ain't that bad a drive.
If you want to get your ass on the road, you can get there in time for it now.
You stupid.
That's a 2-3 day drive, bitch.
Unless the AEW travel department happens to be listening to this podcast, y'all want to send your boy a ticket or something like that to get out there,
And letting me know you don't mean a ticket to the show. You mean a plane ticket.
A plane ticket, correct. Correct. Plane ticket, full airfare, travel, hotel, all that. Man. Run it up. Ring size, accommodations. All that.
Look, Tony Khan and Dave Meltzer and Joe Lanza and them talk about how the Gento activities and how they just slacking on the game. Well, here's your chance, Tony Khan, to get into the propaganda machine. Turn One Nation Radio into your pawns.
One more time, James.
Turn One Nation Radio into your pawns. Yeah, we'll get in your pocket, nigga. It don't take nothing. Look, we already like your show. You ain't paid us for nothing for this. We have no problem so now. We'll tell you we sold out. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah. You know, what was the earliest One
Nation Radio? We can't wait to sell out.
One of the earliest catchphrases there was.
Could you imagine?
Imagine if the Fed called us and was like, you know what? We trying to really boost up going into WrestleMania season. We gonna need One Nation Radio to get on board with us. You know, I'm like, well, Paul, have you ever read my Twitter before? I'm like, is any of this an issue? And you're like, no, it's not. You know, well,
man, I guess.
I'd be like, damn. I'd be like, so what's the starting rate? They'd be like, you know, we'll make it worth you guys' while. You know,
cheese. Don't send us no cheese platter. We need more than that.
Right. I'd be like, you know, how about, you know, how about 10 racks a show? I'd be like, well,
10 racks a show.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, 10 racks a show. I'm like, you know what, nigga, I'm watching the archives too, nigga. Y'all want me to add some shows to One Nation Radio? I'd be like, man, I can't wait to tell y'all how much I love Saudi Arabia. You know, I can't wait to tell y'all how much I'm anticipating CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. I can't wait to tell y'all about Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. Man, I can't wait to tell you how excited I am about the return of Seth freaking Rollins. Oh man, I would just completely go insane and be like, man, I can't wait to review the Jay Cargill world title reign match for match. I can't wait. Run it up.
10 racks a week, brother. This show will be reviewing Evolve. Sorry. You talking about WrestleMania, nigga, for 10 racks a show, we are reviewing Evolve.
Like, we will have all the scouting data on every prospect.
Speed? Is that what the shit called? The high speed show? Speed 2. Run it up.
You know, I'll watch SmackDown. I'll say the Road Dogg's doing a good job for 10 racks a week.
Oh man. I was thinking of a joke about possibly. Never mind. I'm not even gonna do it on air. We gonna move on. I was gonna make a jiu-jitsu dojo joke, but I'm move on. We get main event. Watch Rusev.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just jump around here, but Tommaso Ciampa and Kyle Fletcher for the TNT belt. One of the best matches of the year. The Psycho Killer Tommaso Ciampa has packed up the non-believers in 11 days, James, I believe. we came on One Nation Radio, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, and I think, you know, we were a lot more positive than I think people may have expected. Both of us collectively were like, yeah, dog, like, this should be looked at as a fumble because people always have liked this guy. Think about this babyface version that we've seen of him. This ain't even the real him. This ain't even the real him.
Yes, he's one of the best heels I've ever seen.
So I just think the guy, we should have, I think, and I think AEW fans at large have welcomed him. They have popped for his entrances, and his music is over. He's over. And he's done a great job, you know, coming in and then, you know, just going hard for you know, a couple matches, wins the title, drops it clean as a sheet, does the job. He's not playing the bullshit games, it looks like.
Nope. I mean, well, I guess we talk about the end of this match, what I think they could be doing. But, yeah, man, this match is the kind of match where it's like, on American television, it would be not working good in good faith to expect any match to be better than this. Like, if you are expecting to see a 5-star wrestling match on TV, I'm sorry, you are out of your fucking mind. That is not a thing. It's happened before, but it's not a thing you should be expecting. To see a match that is 4 3/4 stars on TV, that's rare. That's one of the best matches in the history of American television. And he's 11 days into this is 11 days into the company, or 18 days into the company, whatever it was, or maybe it's it's 14 days into the company, because he showed up on Wednesday. Collision, next Collision, this match. Yeah, so he's been in the company 14 days. He's 3 for 3. I've loved all his matches. And if you want to ask where does he go from here after making that kind of impact this fast, I think he's going to fuck over Game 7. I think he's going to fuck over Mark Briscoe, and he's going to turn heel immediately.
That would be incredible.
Exactly.
That would be incredible.
So that's what I think is going to happen. So for this guy, who had naysayers, Lank, he let nigga know. That's exactly what he did. For all the naysayers out there, all the doubters, all the non-believers, people, WWE bad, Fed bad. Hey man, it's not the wrestler in the Fed. It's the Fed. It's the system. It's not the player. So he's out of the system, and you see what he's doing now. He's out here getting 40 every night.
Yeah, I think.
Man. Sorry, Rich. Sorry.
And he making us look smart. I can't ever get upset at that.
There's another side of this. We'll get to. We get to gloat more about this, right? But this is not my time. For those that didn't want to see him here, to see how he ran this off, right? And then I've also people like, well, at least not Gargano. I hate to tell you guys this. Gargano is markedly better than Tommaso Ciampa's ever been. So if he ever shows up here, all the NXT guys that end up from that era in NXT that ended up in AEW, right? Malachi Black. Rich, what was Malachi Black's best match in NXT?
Johnny Gargano.
What was Ricochet's best match in WWE?
Johnny Gargano or Pete Dunne.
Okay, fair enough. What were Adam Cole's best matches?
Johnny Gargano.
Hottest new guy that just came back. What were Andrade's best matches in America?
Johnny Gargano.
It's common denominator there. Just saying. So, if and when Johnny Gargano ends up in AEW, we will be back to tell you all the complaint that you're hearing. Don't listen to them. Because
it's fake.
Because we're going to point back to the Tommaso Ciampa thing and say we said the same thing, and Gargano's is markedly better than Ciampa. And he ain't got a bad neck. Man, Gushins doesn't have a bad neck. And he's younger. So there you go. Now,
there has never been 1 second where I thought Ciampa was better than Gargano. Never.
Yeah. So you move on. Now that I got my gloat on. Like I said, you ready for if the Gargano thing happens? Where I'm gonna go? Because when at TNT Gargano TNT title run rings off, and you got here ring off 4.5 after 4.5, I don't hear nothing from y'all. I'm gonna turn into somebody that you do not recognize from the history of this show. It's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be nasty. So moving on from that, Rich, back to it's time for One Nation Radio to glow. Kyle Fletcher. Again, all he does is prove he's fucking right. He's fucking incredible.
Look, old wrestlers suck his cock, then suck mine after. Brother,
he's automatic. It's crazy.
This, I think we can't look. We came on this show last year and put so much glaze on Kyle Fletcher. I got a call the next day from somebody who shall remain nameless. That was like, hey, man, you did a lot. I got to say, man.
He told you about this.
Kyle Fletcher, look, it's worth it. He's worth it.
He ain't proved us wrong yet.
He ain't had me looking crazy once. So, I think with him and Ciampa, I was like, yo, I love this match. I love the kickouts. I love the intensity. I love the subversion of the spots, the camera work where the nigga flies out the corner with the knee and stuff like that. I was like, I was like, yeah, inject that right there.
Into
You
the
know,
veins.
put it in. Pause.
Hey, relax.
Yes, Stevie Richards. You know, jump from a bridge.
Hey,
you know,
I don't know how you watch. How anyone has watched your boy? Oh yeah.
yes.
I said when Ciampa showed up, I said, hey man, y'all gonna doubt these dudes, and then you gonna get a DIY Young Bucks match and get 6 stars, and y'all gonna have to shut the fuck up forever. And I wasn't expecting Ciampa to go off the way he has over these last 2 weeks. So bear with us. But man, Fletcher is like, he's still a heel, but he's so fucking good that he got babyface in front of this crowd because, like, oh, he's talking about he wants to go to Australia, walk in as champion and have open challenge or whatever. It's like, damn. And then he was like, yeah, we can do that ladder match. I'm like,
Yeah. So Mark Briscoe first came out, and I saw a lot of groans. I kind of groaned myself. I was like, they're doing this again. And I was like, oh, it is the 7th match. They've never. So they got to do it. I was like, okay, they got to do something else. And then immediately they announced a ladder match. And I'm like, perfect. Perfect. Like, you ain't got to pin nobody else. And then it's like, there leaves the room for an angle, as you mentioned. Or it's just like, they
did
reach
a
for the sky.
Because when it happened, after Mark Briscoe came out, they showed a pretty long shot of Ciampa looking defeated against the barricade, upset about what happened. And it's like, bro, I don't know if you saw a backstage thing with him. Bro, I think he called it Sylvia.
Yeah,
and it's like similar to the Goldie shit with the NXT title. It's like, oh, because he's still clutching the title.
That nigga started talking to the belt. That nigga started getting deranged.
You don't want that bald nigga when he's paranoid. You do not want that bald nigga when he's paranoid. Him and Mark Briscoe. If that happens, they finna do something special. They finna do something real special.
They gonna be
because they already got one.
We know both of them niggas like no rules matches.
Yes. But anyway, Fletcher, bro, he's just fucking awesome.
Look, a One Nation Radio athlete. Like, that nigga's like, and obviously, we'll see how long it takes him to ascend to the mountaintop.
But what's worth talking about, Blood Generation, I'm including them in that, right? Like, bro, I was thinking about this. Is like, bro, we got Takeshita right now, we got Fletcher, we got Tsuji, and it's like we got 3 guys that could carry the next decade in all the pro wrestling as far as match quality, whatever else. I think we in good hands with these 3 in particular or whatever else for now. Now, granted, you keep Jake Lee the fuck away from Tsuji, and we'll get to that. But yeah, man, it's. Whew, boy.
Look, I know the New Jihadin got to be furious every time they watch Kyle Fletcher, dog. They got to be hot. 38 hot. Just, man, why couldn't New Japan just help them sign a full-time contract?
As a tag wrestler.
Look, that nigga Tony Khan's an elite recruiter right there. Like people talk about who are some of the elite recruiters in college football, James?
What's your boy D-Rob in Georgia right now? You got Mario Cristobal in general. I mean, there's a few guys like as far as like, but wait, I get what you mean.
Like you mean Tony Khan was like, I'm gonna bring one of y'all niggas in and fix y'all up while y'all not even on our payroll. Yeah. That shit was deal with Seal right there. Like, that's it.
Look. Yeah. Yeah, man. That dude, like, I keep thinking, like, all right, well, maybe he'll stumble, maybe he'll fail. Because, at a certain point, I was like, well, he ain't getting much, screen time as much anymore to get his character over. Maybe he's a hot match guy or whatever else. But I think around the time he had that match with O'Reilly in the fall, and I was like, I don't know if the crowd cares about him until the bell rings as much. And then, like, the Briscoe thing happened, and, like, they care about him more. And it's like he's getting on the mic and he's talking shit. And this Takeshita, Okada, Don Callis family turmoil thing is working. I wish it gets to a fucking point, but it's working still. So yeah, man. Man,
left turn off of that. You mentioned the Don Callis family. The Death Riders Don Callis family thing.
That match was fun as hell. These Road to Death Riders matches are great.
I just don't. I'm not as into it between Death Riders and the Don Callis family.
I can get it.
It feels like I think the Death Riders alignment is all fucked up because like there's still heels and baby faces at the same time. Yeah. Marina's off in the corner with Wheeler Yuta and Garcia. Basically, like all the underlings, they're heels still, but like Moxley's a baby face. But it's like
Claudia's baby face right now.
I don't know. Something's not there for me. It feels like they're just freestyling.
I think they have gone. Okay, so Death Riders up until the World's End.
Unearned. All this shit is like the baby face and it's like y'all niggas just terrorists.
Okay, so they were terrorists. Or maybe they were terrorists. Moxley goes in that run and he babyface them a bit. So now they're tweeners. They're back to like the pre-bagging Danielson alignment where they can be baby faces to heels and heels to baby face. They're tweeners. Because like Moxley clearly has that, and Claudio on Collision and on this show last night, like he's working babyface, swinging niggas around, big brawl fighting, all that. So yeah, man,
John Moxley shouting out or later on when Clark Connors and Garcia in the ring, they're shouting out Gabe Kidd and stuff like that, who we just saw kidnapping Darby Allin and shit. I
did enjoy that for the part of like we were like, are they connected? And like they actually pointed out like, yeah, this is.
Moxley was throwing him a lob, trying to make it tie all together.
But I like that though.
Like, but I think the more that he called attention to it, it's like for me, it's exposing the holes in it and why it hasn't been fleshed out so great thus far.
Oh, the niggas don't work for AEW. That's I mean,
yet
right. They get recruited too.
But yeah, just a quick diversion, but
yeah, man. But like the Takeshita and Moxley Road to matches have been, the last two Dynamites have been great for me. They work perfectly fine, and like quite frankly, like they should do more of this with more of these factions. Like faction warfare is fucking fun when you don't let these idiots on the internet tell you that everybody no one should be in factions.
Yeah. Tag team match: Young Bucks, the Rascals, and the returning Private Party. So we haven't seen Private Party in a year. They're back.
Was there an injury or are you just off TV?
No idea.
Okay.
The way they were talking was just like they were off TV. Like it was like, yeah, Mark Quinn's put on some muscle. Like it was like,
I mean, we saw pictures of it, but they're like then seeing what the physique looks like now it's like, that wasn't no fluke. That wasn't no like, he actually has been out there clanging and banging and eating lots and lots of protein and doing and lifting a lot of heavy ass weight and feeling bad. Yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Welcome to the members.
And that nigga's biceps is as big as Matthew and Nicholas's heads now. It's ridiculous.
So I was happy to see him. I kind of thought these guys got a raw deal, how they dropped the belts and were never seen again.
Definitely did.
So like, we'll see what happens from here. But the Young Bucks win this match. This is just Southern California,
fun
the
match.
Young Bucks having fun.
Yeah.
The Young Bucks in there with black tag teams. They love young black men more than Madonna. The Young Bucks do. Like, anytime they're in the match, with young black tag teams, it'd be working. Ask Top Flight about it. Ask Private Party about it. Ask The Acclaimed about it. Swerving Our Glory. Like back in the Young Bucks versus niggas. That shit, the underrated genre.
This man said that the Young Bucks love black tag teams more than Madonna. Wow. I saw a
I said young black men more than Madonna.
Okay, young black men more than yo man. I saw on I think it was Twitter. I saw a screenshot of the letter that Tupac dumped Madonna in. I
saw that too,
and I was like, that man Tupac were in there,
I can't do this.
He was like, I can't do this, and it's like, hopefully I meant something to you if I ever meant anything to you. I was like, oh, you toxic ass nigga, you toxic ass. See, this why you got shot. this why you got shot, right? You nasty. You move nasty. You move nasty. Anyway, move on. Yeah, man. That was crazy. The Madonna shit is crazy, but yeah. It was a fun match, and then they won. And then I was reminded, like, oh, is this setting up for them in the
FTR.
Staples Center, right? Or the Crypto, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, angle alert, right? We all, everyone's sitting there doom and gloom that, FTR going to hold these bitches forever until Christian and Copeland show up. What if Tony Khan, since he's been, coming out that bathroom with heat, been saying, hey, I got a better idea for you. Instead of y'all holding these belts forever, we put these shits on the Young Bucks, and then y'all do y'all shit based on the part where, like, you lose a feud to the Young Bucks, which makes you even more mad at Christian and Copeland, and you get the fuck, and they're away from the titles.
Dude, that shit elsewhere.
That would be as impressive. If that's what they do, that would be as impressive as what they've done with Andrade, with Swerve and Omega.
Look, FTR,
because that will make everybody happy.
FTR, Floyd Johnson, we coming for you, nigga. Like, on behalf of Young Buck Nation, we coming for you.
Because seriously, what better thing could Copeland do to come back as a babyface? Because if he comes back as a babyface for those titles, FTR is going to get over off his ass.
Oh yeah.
This is the only thing that's going to save babyface Copeland.
Look, do that shit not for the belts. Do that shit for personal pride. Whatever the fuck.
On TV.
Yeah, do that shit on.
That shit on pay-per-view.
Saturday.
Has Copeland ever wrestled on Collision?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, man. FTR Bucks. I saw people crying. I'm like, they'll probably have another good match. I think.
What if we finally get the match from them?
This could be it, because, like, all right, let's think about all the different times. I think a lot of the other matchups have almost come under duress. Like, they've been during these trying situations where it's like, it just, the timing wasn't right. It was after some weird situation. They've got like a month now to really kind of flesh it out and be like, all right, we're back in our natural alignment. The Young Bucks, the FTR are back in their natural alignment. It's not a stipulation match as we speak. And it's almost like a fresh slate again. This is almost as fresh of a matchup as it was the first time they've done it. Like,
it's been 2 years, right?
It's been all the other matches have had these different dynamics where there are ladders in them. The Bucks are heels. It's a weird Wembley match. There's like where the FTR had just won the title, so they weren't going to lose them. Like, they're kind of like the FTR has had those belts almost long enough to where it's like, okay, it would make sense if they lost them. And then it seems like it could go either way, per se. You could keep it on them, which I would think
I'm not beating the Young Bucks in Staples.
But I wouldn't want to beat the Young Bucks in Southern California either. But I feel like now is as good of a time for them to have the best version of the match with the Bucks being big. They're not going to have to pay tribute to all the tag teams like the first time they did it and stuff like that. They've already had a phenomenal match where the Bucks were the heels.
Was that the St. Patrick's Day weekend show?
I think so. It was where the Bucks were heels and FTR were the faces.
That's the best match they've had.
Right. And then now it's like they've had all these other matches, but like it was always the weird character hell kind of for the Bucks, and then FTR.
Did they shake hands after the Wembley match?
No,
I forgot what happened after that. Wasn't there a weird?
I think they just rolled out the ring, and then like they had to like team up like a different time, like where they were an 8-man tag unit. Like there was like
that was back when they were the EVP Bucks or whatever else. So that was fine. And actually, and those matches were actually good. So
yeah. So like there's just always been weird dynamics around them, and then I think the Bucks got some momentum right now as baby faces. FTR has not been setting it on fire of late.
They have not been given a slate of opponents, and it's similar to like what happened with Chris Statlander, what's happened with Adam Page, where it's like the road to the titles they were given better slate of opponents than they were with the titles, and now you like what's going on here? It looks kind of weird. Well, maybe not Statlander, because Statlander actually got her, she got Mercedes and Tony back to back, but like Adam Page for sure was like. The chase the journey to the titles was more interesting than you actually having a title, and that actually you just clearly look at like who's across them on the marquee.
I want to talk about the Will Ospreay promo packages that they started playing in conjunction with announcing Wembley's ticket on sales and stuff like that. It's like they got some good news or something. They're already shooting these vignettes for them.
This is the second one.
They look great. Like they look like it's like, damn, bro, I miss this nigga, bro. Like, and I hope everything's going to where, like he said in the thing, can he do what he did before? Yeah. Can he, be the guy? And then it's just like, it's this feeling of like, bro, this guy, he's the one. Like, he's the actual ace. That is like, it seems like they want to hand it to if he can just like carry the ball, right? And I think there are going to be a lot of people that would be like, Hangman Page last year, he got done dirty. And yeah, he did get done dirty like that. And hopefully the same thing doesn't happen to Will Ospreay. Like, because like this guy is going to have his crowning moment at Wembley. I think it's patently obvious, right? Like, I don't think this is a situation where they're like, yeah, we're just gonna play all this shit and then just hope I feel like they got their updates, they were comfortable releasing the information, and I think there's a plan, pretty much how to do it already in place. And like,
it don't even for me at this point, like if he comes back and he's, relatively himself. It don't even really matter who the opponent is that much to me. I just want to see him finally get this babyface world title chase that he has tried to get off the ground. Starting in New Japan, and it was going great, and then it just happened to where he got a better offer from AEW, and he's ran a long road. He's been with AEW since 2024. Like, and he became the best wrestler in the company pretty fast. In ring. So like, and he has all these great connections with people like Swerve, with Adam Page, and like there's other stuff for him to do. Like,
and he's gonna be coming from Moxley ass too.
Right. And like that, and that's another part about it is like, this dude is, I don't think I've ever really said this for any other wrestler, but like this dude has a chance to have like a babyface H1 that we quite frankly ain't really seen since Okada in 2016 through 17. I think he's the guy that could do it. And because look at his pay-per-view track record. Just put a title on him and just have those same matches. Like, it's kind of close to that. I think he can have one of those all-time babyface runs, and I think it's finally all aligned, and it looks like they're gonna go with the guy. And I'm happy, and like the dude has done the jobs at the right times for all these people for them to get their crowning achievements and their moments or whatever else.
And look, and them things are going to be coming. Them things are going to be coming back around too.
And when people,
with
talk
pleasure,
about, people, Tunnel Talk, a couple years ago was talking about like Dave Meltzer being so over anxious about it, being like he needs to be the guy. He needs to be the guy. Is like this is a special guy. Is like we're at a time now where like. I think it's crazy if you are someone that watches AEW since he showed up and be like, I don't see it for him being the top champion in the company. Like, nah, I maybe he's just not your cup of tea, and if that's the case, okay, cool. But like outside,
I don't know if it's about special guy, but that guy is special.
Right, right. That's what I'm getting. Like if you're the type that likes, the Takeshita's, the Adam Pages, the Swerves, the Omegas, the Okadas, he's the guy that had to wrestle all of them in the main events. And he's already done that with some of them at lower levels, and he's wiped his ass with whatever was in the main event. So, yeah, man.
And look, he's going to get to kind of write his own ticket too. Like, I don't think we're going to have to worry about some of the political hell that's emerged kind of around, the World Championship.
Hopefully, hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully. Like, as of right now, it doesn't look like there's going to be those same issues with Ospreay. But it's like, I think he's, like you said, like this is all been building up to this if you're a long time follower of this guy. And I think that as long as he doesn't, the only person who's going to run it off the road is him. And
I mean, it's really his health. I kind of feel like I don't think, because there's an issue. There is something where people get in their mind. The best example of lately is like, the first MJF ring where it's like, I'm the champion and now I kind of have to do something different than what I've already done before. Like when he did the face tear in the middle of his title run. Ospreay don't have to do that.
They already love him in the arenas.
Yeah. Like that swerve hangman thing, like that. And then also, Fletcher, the Fletcher and Takeshita stuff, like he's connected with so many of these people that are some of the best wrestlers in the world that people respect and love. Like he's on all the turmoil of the ins and outs of trying to put that stuff aside for the title, or actually like fighting nemesis, foes, people you hate. Him also being on that fuck Don Callis team. That's a long team, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like he has all that stuff to play with. He has
like
all that.
There
stuff
should be a factory of guys.
That's what I mean. Like like to get to the title and to defend the title. He has like 2 years worth of stuff showing up.
Yeah. We just gotta hope that nobody from 2005 Ring of Honor, has like Hook hit him in the face with a world title or some shit like that. We just gotta hope that don't happen.
Well, what if somebody from TNA 2005 shows up?
He can lay them shoulders too. But
because best believe if that dude show up. If AJ Styles shows up and he has 2 years in him, best believe he's gonna be AJ World Champion. That's gonna happen. That's absolutely gonna happen. Are you new here? They just put the ball in small Joe. AJ Styles is still going to play at a high level. Joe can give you a good match here and there. He can wrestle at the main event level. AJ probably still could. So yeah. We'll see. And look, I gotta say, I kind of want to see an AJ Styles and Gold Ospreay match. Don't you? Just out of morbid curiosity.
Oh, I mean, I could list off a couple opponents for the phenomenal AJ Styles.
So could I. Like everybody I just named, or whatever else, bro. Like Kenny. Look, AJ Styles shows up and like I remember
I remember what you did.
Saw you kicked me out of the Bullet Club.
You started the Elite off my ass.
It's true. Oh, that'd be great. That's another big match. But then again, if you know this Kenny Omega, they'll put that shit on Dynamite. That commitment pay-per-view. What are you doing? I just need to happen right here. It needs to happen for the good folks, the good folks in Milwaukee.
Yeah. Sacramento.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about his main event, man. Tekla defeats Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's World Title in an awesome strap match, a bloody, violent, physical strap match with a little bit of shenanigans at the end. But look, this whole thing was kind of going this way anyway. We saw the way the wind was blowing. Saw Tekla just kind of eating Statlander's lunch in the lead up to this thing, and a huge discussion has broken out about Chris Statlander's world title reign and everything like that. And brother, it's falling on deaf ears for me, bro. Like on the same day, I don't know if these events were linked, connected, whatever the fuck. But on the same day where footage of Chris Statlander crying on podcasts about her booking, comes out, Tekla releases a fucking interview on Talk Is Jericho of all places, that morning. So it's like, what the fuck is Jericho doing for one? We haven't seen, a wrestling interview from him in a minute. Puts that out, and she's going to win the belt that day or whatever. And I've just seen the belly aching about Chris Statlander and like, bro, what, like, perhaps they could have done more for her than letting her beat Tony Storm, letting her beat Tony Storm again, beating Mercedes clean as a sheet.
Hater.
Jamie Hayter. And at some point, you have to assert yourself with the booker to be the star you want to be. You cannot show up and be like, what you got for me? Even if you got the belt, right? You got to make yourself a priority. And I'm led to believe, based on all these things and watching her own interviews, she was kind of being like waiting to be told what to do, kind of. And I think the thing is, if I don't understand who Chris Statlander is, and Chris Statlander doesn't understand who Chris Statlander is,
that's the main fucking thing.
Maybe Tony Khan don't understand Chris Statlander. Maybe.
I saw that clip, and on one end, I get the frustration of her being one of the very, very best women's wrestlers in the history of this country as an in-ring performer. I absolutely get that. And her to get to where she has gotten to, being a AEW original, the best friends stuff, the Willow stuff, the knee injuries and overcoming that, and still being able to wrestle at her level and getting the title, and then at the end of it ends kind of the same way she wanted, just like I wasn't expecting this at all. But the problem is, for her, it's a small problem because once the bell rings, she can overcome this stuff. But to get people to care before the bell rings, that's the other half of this job. And outside of being quirky, she's an alien. She boos people on the nose. She shows up to Willow's interviews and throws paper in the air and runs away for like what the fuck is that?
Like sometimes she's a regular person and then she just reverts to an alien. Like what the fuck is a cosmic killer? That's a nickname, not a fucking.
That's just another nickname.
Yeah,
like, it's another nickname. It's a play on the alien thing, right? Fine. I don't need to actually like turn into a promo about what it means, right? But outside of the quality wrestling you're going to get from her, I don't think people know what to feel about her because they don't really know about her relationships to people, like concretely. They have rough ideas, but it's half-baked. A lot of it's half-baked.
And I think some of this goes back years with her. Right. You remember the phantom heel turns that would come out of nowhere and be like, then she's not a heel no more. Right. And there have always just been weird things that have happened in her booking that were just not explainable. And then like, I don't know how you don't go forward with Marina Shafir unless Marina Shafir was being protected in a way where you couldn't beat her or whatever after, because that seemed to have legs to it, like something that was emotional, something that was like that got a little bit more than just, all right, we're waiting for the match. Like they didn't go that direction.
Right.
And now for her losing the belt, I feel like so many people think she was just done wrong, and it's just like the evidence that Tony Khan hates women, and
like,
all this other stuff, and she would be booked better in WWE, and it's just like
they first off. If
like, what?
I didn't hear that, but if you're a person that honestly believes that Chris Statlander would do better in WWE than AEW, you're out your fucking mind.
I think there's
she doesn't have a character.
There's a general rule. I think
she has cut a grand total of like she's been in AEW since day one. We're about to go into year 7 this year, right? She's probably cut like 3 promos worth of damn. She's probably had 3 talking segments worth of damn ever. Not saying that they've been terrible, but like things where you're like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I like her. Oh, I like where this headed. She's only had maybe like 3 of them.
I think if
she is a person that you care about her. She gets her work done in the ring, not out of the ring, and that is a disconnect.
I think if you struggle to get over in AEW, you will even do worse in WWE. If you can't get over in AEW, you getting over in WWE is damn near impossible. I think.
Right, especially when over there, they fully believe that it takes 5 years to get someone over.
And also, like, they tell you what the fuck to do. You have the fucking creative freedom to almost be who you want to be in AEW. Like, and come with the idea. If they don't have ideas for you, you can walk in there and be like, well, how about this? I was thinking we could do this. I could do that. And some people don't take advantage of this. So, like, and Chris Statlander happens to be one of those people, like, I believe. Right. Like, just talking to different people, like, it's just like there's something that's missing. And it's like I know what it is. It's like all these things. It's like, all right, her connections to Willow is like, all right, well, maybe we should just push Willow instead. If Willow has to carry you, like, as far as
push person actually has charisma, yes,
right. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I can't. Like, you held this belt. I think you won this shit in what, like September, maybe August.
Was it Wrestle Dream?
Wrestle Dream, I think.
Okay, so they wrestled. Tony Storm and her had a match.
Forbidden Door.
What was okay? Hold on. It was a 4-way, and then they faced and had the actual 1-on-1 at pay-per-view after. The one that had full gear.
Think so.
So yeah, it had to be Wrestle Dream then.
All out.
Okay.
All out. Okay. Yeah. So like, nah, man. She put a bunch of names on the platter or whatever like that. She went over clean. They tried to like play to her strengths there. It's just like as you mentioned, James, there's a second part to this, and like I don't know if it's a imposter syndrome thing. I'm here diagnosing now, but it's like when Mercedes walks in the room, right? Do you think Chris Statlander believes like that she should be like above Mercedes? Like, I don't know, like. Does she believe in herself that she's a bigger, like that she can be a bigger deal than Tony Storm? And it's like as you look at like they're bringing up her in ring in the comments. She probably did have the best in ring women's title reign ever in ring. Absolutely, like you can just 4.5, 4. Like you can reel them shits off.
I just said she is one of the very best women's wrestlers this country has ever produced. I just said that as far as in ring talent. That's half of the job.
But I'm about to say, but if in ring was all it was, like
it's a talk shit business.
If in ring was all it was, she wouldn't be crying and saying it's not enough, like on podcasts. Like, and I don't admonish her for that because obviously, like, if you feel like it's kind of incomplete, it's out of your hands. Like, she's a human, she's allowed to feel that, right? But at the same time, y'all don't have to be out here being like, you know what, this is like. I just don't think people are looking at it like, because like I've always championed Chris Statlander. Like I've always kind of looked at her like I think she has something. She could be a star. Valuable. She's like incredible. Right. Like she's incredible. Like she should absolutely be the champion at some point. And she was. She did it. Like, and now will she ever do it again? Maybe. Who knows? But it's like it's not the end of the world that she had to lose the belt to Tekla, who also. Before Tekla came in, Tekla was also on the list, James, just like a Ciampa with getting these people that are running and, just these motherfuckers with these Terry Funk avatars and the, people, the Joshi fans that are really aggressive about Tekla that hated her and stuff like that. I was like, no, bro, she's good money. We told everybody on One Nation Radio she was gonna be Raw, and she came in, and you look at Donna Del Mondo, James. She ended up winning the world title before the leader did.
You mean in America?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, man, like,
and she's cold, bro. She's cool. She can wrestle. She can talk.
Yeah, you know what her character is.
Like, and she's just like
she is a evil. Like she's an evil shit stirrer. Right, like that, like she's annoying. She can be annoying, right? And I don't mean it in like I don't want her off my screen. I mean like annoying to the baby faces.
And
right?
she's tough.
Yeah, and like she immediately came in there with the Amanada stuff, and immediately was like, "That's fun." And then they moved that to the side, and then it felt like they cooled her off, and then she got in the ring with Statlander, and then on that pay-per-view she was more over than Statlander, and it was like, oh, okay. That's not good because Statlander's been given heads on the mantle to put up on her fireplace, and Tekla's been given nothing other than just looking cool. And got that reaction, and then we move forward to here, and yeah, she's a champion, and like I think she'll have a shot. And like I've seen her be a singles champion before. She was SWA champion in Stardom in 2022. And I liked her run. It was short lived because they immediately gave her like a couple defenses, and they said this is Mayu's belt. And that's before they moved over to the IWGP Women's thing. And like when she lost that belt, I felt for her. Like she was a great actress, and like she felt like a part of her. Like that belt that became a part of her, and then she lost, and she was devastated. Like her acting skills in that match, losing that match to Mayu, and that was a 4-star match. Like, yeah, she has the chops for this.
Like she's tough, bro. And look, this ain't the one.
When she showed up in AEW, I was like, bro, she's going to do better on American television than she is going to do in Joshi. She is. Yep. And I thought she did pretty well for what the average foreigner does in Joshi. She did well. She did way better than the average. People just, the bar was so high at Stardom because it was so fucking loaded at the time. People were like, well, is she a top half performer in Stardom? You know how hard it is to be a top half performer in Stardom at that point in time?
Yeah. That was some 27 Yankee shit.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a junior, the version of the outrage is a junior version of what Bane going over Tony was. A lot of people feel like there's this line that people got to wait in. I think people got to they got to let that go. Especially in the women's division where like people can get hot and get used in like different ways. Yeah. And I think, look, now the Sisters of Sin being intrinsically tied to the world championship, I don't love that. But Tekla is like,
think about how Tony Khan books. When you do favors for him for his pet projects by doing jobs for people or taking people under your tutelage or whatever else, right? When you gotta take Hook under your wing for a year, you might get the AEW World Title for having to deal with that shit. If you want to do every big job under the sun, you might get gifted to have the best feud in AEW history with Adam Hangman Page if you swerve, right? Like. If you can turn Tony Khan's lemons into lemonade, he will reward you at the end of it eventually. And taking Sky Blue and Julia Hart post House of Black off of his hands was a big favor for him.
Right.
There's your answer.
And
Willow Nightingale taking Harley Cameron. TBS champion.
Yeah.
Did a lot of big jobs on that road. Got her belt back.
I think I would have much more respect for any complaints about Tekla if Tekla was bad.
Right.
And, she's not. She's awesome. Like, as I mentioned, cool, can talk, can fight, can wrestle. Has an aura to her, has the unit around her. Is she's she's got something.
That entrance is raw.
Yeah.
With the flipped over camera, yeah, man. I've never. outside of when she first started in Stardom and she was a little bit too wacky, and then she reeled it in the first month. Outside of it, I've never had any complaints really about Tekla in whatever role she's had in the promotion I've ever watched her in.
And then I think if people just like, if their issue is like Statlander needed more focus, but I'm like, what would the focus be?
Right.
Like,
how much more focus do you need when we have moved Toni Storm to tags and now she's in a mixed tag feud and with Mercedes off TV for over a month now? How much more focus did
after you beat them both?
Right. You sent them packing.
It wasn't like they moved her artificially and was like, you handle it. And then there was never no passing of the torch or anything like that. Like, no, there was an honest attempt.
Yes, there was.
To put people's shoulders on the mat.
Yep.
For her.
Right. Now remember, we go back to One Nation Radio review when she won the belt. It was like, why the fuck did she win the belt that way? They didn't heat her up.
And people were swearing it was all good, James.
And I remember saying,
they were swearing all. I was like, that is not it.
That is not how you submit someone to champion. That is not how you end that reign that Toni Storm had. And sure enough, flash forward now, it seems like James Boyd was right on One Nation Radio again.
The game always comes back to O&R.
If you don't do the shit right, it doesn't mean it's gonna it's gonna end up bad. But if it starts out fundamentally weird, when it goes weird, you're gonna look back and be like, see?
You can look at the genesis.
It was on uneven foundation.
Yeah.
And that sucks for Statlander, because Statlander is someone that has been very valuable to that promotion in that way. And I felt like she deserved the actual big let off all the fucking fireworks. She actually laid somebody down in a singles match, but no, she had to sneak somebody with a fucking with a backdoor
seatbelt pin.
In a fucking 4-way. It's like, all right,
that ain't how you crown somebody, man. I can't believe people really tried. I don't know why they did this. Is it like the relationship they have with the women's wrestlers?
They liked her and they wanted her to get the belt, and it was results over process. And no, it's process.
That ain't
over
it.
Results.
Look, I bet when Will Ospreay wins that fucker, it ain't gonna be in a 4-way like to crown him as the fucking man.
And that's exactly what I
MJF,
said about Heyman. Heyman didn't get that shit on a 4-way. He choked the motherfucker out in the middle of Texas in the biggest show of the year to get the belt.
Look, MJF has the belt in the 4-way. He's a heel. That shit doesn't fucking matter. Like,
right, babyface, heel. Obviously, we talking about babyface and how you're supposed to win. Not
before someone screams about MJF, just putting that out there.
Yeah, but heels are opportunists. It's supposed to feel cheap. It makes it matter. So you want him to lose the belt.
So you think about like how you start, how you come in the game is how you lead a game. Like, but this match, awesome.
Good match.
Again.
Really good.
Again.
Match. Really good. Also, bro, there was one. There's one thing that also we know about this. Tekla was hitting Statlander with the strap way harder than the opposite. And bro, there was one strike where I didn't realize what I was saying. All right, bro. There was one Hulk Hogan strapation, if you will, where Tekla had reached back and hit Statlander. Statlander was on her belly. And she hit nothing but ass, and boy, that shit. The sound was different. It was the loudest strike I heard the whole show. I was like, God damn, that shit reverberated. Oh my god! And you can see Statlander. She started moving around, and she grabbed her ass, and she was hurt. That one. Oh,
I do recall that. Recall that.
Yeah, look, Statlander probably had to put ice on that one. That one was nasty. But yeah, man.
That shit sounded like right there.
You stupid. But yeah, man. Like, I don't think this is the last. I also think people might think that like this is Statlander's last shot at this, and I just don't.
I gotta say,
why they're acting like this. Like, this is their only
I gotta say, the track record for former AEW's women's world champions is not great.
That's true.
It is not great.
That's
like what ends up happening is like you move on, you get your time, and unless you're Toni Storm, So
that's true. But there's 2 belts. So, and there's also a tag team division. So like I feel there's more opportunities for women to get over in the time they have. And like they're not about to take her off TV. They're about to throw her into the tag division. They're going to have her around Statlander and.
Also, Tony Khan has to stop this. When he beats baby faces, he has to stop these like returns, debuts, or whoever the fuck. Because then after the match,
the
as
brawling,
they do it,
that's
it's like tonally, it's just fucked up. It's just like, hold on, let the fucking title change breathe for a second. Let us process what happened. Right. Yeah, it's like you got to stop that. And they did it when they returned Swerve after the Hangman title change too. Mm-hmm. Like they've done this. I remember at like Forbidden Door, like the first one, it was like after we got done with the Moxley Tanahashi match, they're running out and setting up this fucking 5-on-5 Jericho Appreciation Society. It was like, hey, bro, the tone is fucked up. Tone is fucked up.
Another one. First Wrestle Dream. Cope's, I forgot how Darby lost, but then they brought out Copeland to save him.
Yeah. It's like these babyface title changes or whatever.
Sting's head. Yeah, that happened too. Yeah, another one.
Yeah. It's like, all right, bro, like let it ride. Like,
yeah, I agree because like, bro, the way that those three were going up the ramp, whatever, they couldn't even get a good shot of her before they went to black of Tekla with the belt. It was like. They just rushed it, run off screen. It's like, bro, is there another match coming on I'm unaware of? Like, why did this happen like this?
They were overtime slightly, like above their. I know they went into the post, but people went long on stuff. Yeah. But yeah, Tsuji versus Jake Lee. I did.
Okay, New Beginning was last night or this morning, right?
Tuesday morning.
Okay, Tuesday morning. I watched it before we started the show, and yeah, man. I don't think I've ever been this right on one show where like we talked about stuff in recent time, and then like it comes back and like immediately like Jake Lee, this is Jake Lee. What you saw in that ring is what Jake Lee does, and that's why I'm not a fan of Jake Lee. There's no sense of urgency. He's added this clown gesture gimmick, whatever else, but like before that, it was
I was laughing
sitting around making smirky faces. Now it's smirky faces. It's wacky faces, but it's still the same lack of urgency. It's still him taking his taking time to do nothing. It's WWE pace outside WWE, and it's jarring to watch. And like, bro, he don't wrestle good enough even at the important moments of the match to overcome that kind of shit. His pacing fucking is terrible. It's fucking terrible. And yeah, like it is the Joker. Like
he made me laugh a few times. He made me laugh a few times.
Sold and then started doing. I'm like,
when the nigga ran past him and he was like, I was like, what the fuck is this?
He's Joker, but like he's like Joaquin Phoenix Joker, and it's like, yo, that sucks.
I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, and then like he just has this look on his face. It's like and then like he would pull out like one or two moves where it was like, oh, that was a cool kick or something like step up kick or
he's
something like that.
Good. He's technically good.
I was like, I understand. I was like, I know how he like dupes these niggas into this. Like he's 6'4".
Yep.
There's some ability there, but like it ain't all the way there. Let's just say that. And then I guess we got at least one answer about Yoda Tsuji. Are you gonna lift niggas up to the IWGP level that necessarily ain't supposed to be there? Nah, that might not be you,
brother. 2000. Here's the thing, though. 2017, the Kazuchika Okada couldn't have carried Jake Lee up to
I disagree. I think Okada could have done that. I think Tanahashi could have done that. I think Kenny Omega could have done that. I don't know if that's not Yoda Tsuji. Like it looked different without Takeshita in there.
I see what you're saying. These legends and they have the track record, whatever else. So you relying on that. My thing is this, bro. Once they put them handcuffs on you, once he gets you in the Jake Lee quicksand, it's not espresso, it's quicksand. You just stuck. And I'm sorry, bro. This is what I knew it when I saw him when I ran about the match for the GHC that I saw in 2023 with him and Kiyomiya. Kiyomiya was wrestling his ass off trying to get this match. People to give a fuck about this match. It was in Yokohama Arena. No, man, no. He is just
polite claps.
He just drains. He it's almost like, hey man, we're gonna teach you how to do everything right, and then like from a physical standpoint, and then like we just gonna give you all the like a video game where you go through the skill map or whatever else. We just will never work on like the mental part of the skill map. We're going to have all the attributes where, like, so we're going to make you 6'4", you're going to have good footwork, you're going to be a good athlete, you're going to have a good physique, or whatever else. We're going to give you crazy hair that as the match goes, it actually demonstrates the wares of battle as your hair looks more ridiculous or whatever else. And then we gonna teach you how to not do anything else outside of that. You're just gonna be just an empty vessel of good wrestler. He ain't got no heart, no brains for this. Nah, man, he's not a main event wrestler, and they tried it everywhere else.
I agree.
He's never been a main event wrestler, except for when he's in the ring with with Kento Miyahara. He's a Kento Miyahara merchant. I knew that 3 years ago. I know it now even more. He's in the biggest promotion he's ever been in. He's finna stink this bitch out, and he's finna stink out another G1, and hopefully we get hurt this time. Get him off. Enough. And you know, he's gonna have some extra Aaron Wolf, and it's not gonna be in the shits, and people are gonna be back on the train of, oh yeah, he's actually really good. No, nigga, he's in there with one of the best young wrestlers in the world, and he stunk it up. Enough.
I thought the match was fine. Like, at just a baseline, like, this is a decent match. Would I ever watch this again? Fuck no.
Rich, they brought V4 back for this.
I know. I saw Hiroshi Tanahashi holding the V4 before they did the match, presented it to both guys. I see Tanahashi holding that fucker, and I'm like, that's Hiroshi Tanahashi's belt. Like that's a real champion right there. And then I had to watch them niggas deliver.
And this wasn't a real championship match.
I was like, I don't know, brother. I was like, sure seemed like Yota Tsuji could use some of them foreigners. You know, he's railing on the whole time, and we gonna see what it looks like against Andrade. You know, at New Beginning.
Look, there's no way it's not better than this.
Look,
Andrade could lose a leg and it'd be better than this.
So, you know, we will see. You know, I will get like, I'm not gonna kill Tsuji too much, but the nigga was in these interviews. Look. Like that nigga was selling out about everybody and everything. He's bringing back the IWGP 4. I'm like, all right, nigga, let's get it. Where it's at.
But the story of this match was it was a Jake Lee match, and when you doing a Jake Lee match, prepare to be disappointed, especially if it's in the main event. So this happened, and when he goes out there and has where's his match at? Where's the Andrade match at? Do we know yet?
It's the global belt. It's the one in America, New Jersey.
Okay. So when they had that match, and that match is great, I can get back to Slender and Jake. I can be like, look, you know, we have antennas up for Yota Tsuji. He's cleared his name. He's cleared his good name.
Right. Like, I got one light on. I got one headlight on.
Right. He's cleared. He has that match on Andrade. It's gonna be great, and then he's gonna be like, he cleared his name. Now back to Jake Lee being trash. I'm sorry, not trash. Mid.
You brought up Aaron Wolf. I did not see what happened. Apparently, they beat him inside of 2 minutes and took that belt off him. This was the new Ace, James. This don't seem how the new Ace should be treated. This don't seem how everybody was jumping on my head because I was critical of Aaron Wolf. I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is about to be. Yeah. Rightful questions, I might add.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a House of Torture classic in the comments, right? Now, if you're doing this to like protect him, you know, whatever, and you still got more to do with him, and I guess, right? Mm-hmm. But you talk about like pouring water on a bitch.
Yep. Especially after that first match. Yep.
Like, it's never happening for Ren Narita. I'm sorry. Like, just look at his face. Like, no, bro. Like, it ain't. like, no,
that
man.
Like, shit work when you like 6'3" or 6'2" or whatever else. It don't work. Shibata 6'1" or 6'2".
Shibata.
My point is
at least 6'2".
Right.
At least.
Right. That Shibata shit works when you were that, and then Shibata, and then mini Shibata less effective, and then it's like, oh,
then you got to do House of Torture,
and then it's like, oh, he's smoking dope. He's done. He's on Fent. He's done. He's done. He out there with the junk man with show. He is done. So what?
Like,
can't say them people. Can't say them people.
Hopefully Aaron Wolf gets another chance. If they do all his training, they do all the other shit, and he's, able to do his thing still. But that fucking sure stunk. As you flashback how good that felt when you you go over Evil, you send Evil packing from the company, essentially, right? And then the next time a lot of people are watching, what are we doing here? Oh, we're gonna do this inside of fucking 2 minutes. We're gonna have them get jumped in the aisleway, and then all this shit is just, I don't know.
Look,
that's gotta stink.
New Japan booking, first title, you lose quick or whatever else. You don't get the real run the first time. You make people want more. This classic Gato booking. I understand it. It's also frustrating.
Maybe that's the problem at this point.
Because
Gato booking.
Somebody has to tell me about whatever they did for the house in Osaka just now. But like when they did,
it did really well. I think.
Okay, I'm gonna say because when people were breaking their foot off in Gato's ass when they had the Kenta and Naito thing, right? Ruined the roll call, right? They did a good house for that match. So like. If it worked, it worked. It don't mean I gotta like it, but if it worked, it worked. So if it did a good house, fine. It don't mean I like it, but I understand it. But I don't like when they do this. So yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, look, the idea when I see the V4, it ain't for the V4.
No, it ain't for the V4. But
yeah, dude, that's the point. He brought back the belt for the V4.
No. I'm just trying to clear Tsuji's name. Okay, I'm trying to clear Tsuji's name.
That nigga better clear his own name. Look, no, nigga. Fight them. Look, nope. Fight them domestic niggas and figure it out with the V4. Since you want to close everything off or whatever. Look, you want to close this shit off and act like you can't. Like it would make so much more sense to import the niggas that you was talking all the shit about. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you think it's a shoot?
No.
All right.
No.
Then why are you talking this shit then?
Because I'm like, all right, if this is the plan, what you want to do with all these niggas and saying this what these people that love this promotion claim to want to see. All right. When I load this bitch up and they got a 5.87 on Cage Match, right?
Hold on, Rich. So you're saying you're not directing this at Tsuji, you're directing this at the people that believe Tsuji. Okay, fair enough.
When I load this bitch up and they got a 5.87 on a Cage Match, right?
It should be lower.
I don't know no IWGP matches with Kazuchika Okada that got no 5.87 on that bitch. Hiroshi Tanahashi wasn't doing that.
That's true.
The fuck?
Kenny Omega, when they were talking about his bad title reign, wasn't doing that neither.
James, if Kenny Omega would have had that Jake Lee match, they would have wanted him banned from the country.
Worse. They would have shot him with that makeshift gun that got the Prime Minister out. But
since it's Yota Tsuji, it's all okay now. Okay, I understand. It's two sets of rules. I understand.
Yeah.
So, what do we say? The standard is the standard.
Yeah.
What do we say?
The standard is standard.
So if this is the route they want to take, right? They want to make isolationism. They want to do all this shit and act like no, James. They want to act like the reason Japanese wrestling itself doesn't exist or whatever, right? They want to just keep it like that. All right, have it. Have these sub 6 main events. Who you putting in there next with them? Who we got to put up? Who do we have to find?
We'll see. We will see. I get you.
Look, I think that New Japan Cup bracket just dropped. Hold on, I got a few names.
No, put it on
I can submit.
Share screen, please. So I can see.
Hold on, brother. I will get there. So I got to. Hold on, brother. We're about to.
Hey, yo, shoulder 1676 is insane.
All right, hold on, man.
This man said
Hold on.
base there. Hey, man, wow.
All right. All right, brothers. Here we go. Now, I know the bottom is covering just a little bit, but bear with us. I'm going to flip it up this way. All right. So, who should we hand off the next title match to? It reminds you. El Phantasmo, he not allowed. He's white. We can't do none of that. Oleg Bolton, we can't do that either.
Can they see that on the screen?
I believe so.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. Here we go. Forgot to hit this. So let's see. Callum Newman, we can't do that. He's white. We can't do that.
How was that?
We disqualifying everybody white.
Well, how was that match with him and your boy? Oh my God,
David Finlay.
Finlay.
I heard it was good.
Okay, I have to check that out.
Let's see. Yujiro Takahashi. Domestic. From the dojo. Who we want?
He's worse than Jake Lee.
So we want Rohei Oiwa. I don't have no problem with Rohei Oiwa.
You said no one white, right? So no Saber.
No Saber. Get him out of here. Drilla Maloney. Get him out of here. Nasty. Too dark. Too tan.
Hartley Jackson. Get him out.
Hartley Jackson. Get him out of here. Mm-hmm. Oscar. Get him out of here. No, even though he went through the dojo, get him out of here. Aaron Wolf. Get him out of here.
God damn it.
Who else? Shit. What we looking at? It's looking like Great O'Khan at the moment. What we doing? What we doing? Hiroki Goto? We going back to Goto again? Do you think Goto want to lay down? I don't know.
No Fale, but no one wanted Fale.
Yoshihashi? Is it his time? Taichi?
Ishii, Taichi, Shingo, Goto.
They better pray to God Ishii win the New Japan Cup. Pray to God and give Yota Tsuji a suitable opponent.
Man. Yeah. Yeah. They might just have to give it to Saber on default. Like, yeah, bro, we gonna give you would this be the fourth time or the third time? I can't remember at this point. I know he's won at least twice. Has he won it three times? I can't remember.
He's won it at least twice.
I know he's won at least twice.
Yeah.
I can't remember if would this be a third or the fourth time if he won it this time.
So we want to. Like this who they want, man. This is they don't remember. I remember last year when people got their booty holes tight when Callum Newman got a one-off title match. Like it was just this huge problem, and now everybody coming around on him. No, that nigga had been Raw. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. So you more y'all want them arm drags in the main event? That's what y'all want to see? Let me know.
Man,
you look
at that roster, you're like, yep, it definitely 2018. Oh man,
this is tough. This is tough. We gotta adhere to these strict guidelines. I don't know. If that's how the Western, that's how they want it.
Ridiculous fan base you feel it is like you look at that line and be like, yeah, you guys are ridiculous. You guys are ridiculous. Like that, the domestic talent is not good enough to be out here boxing out Zack Sabre Jr.'s. Sorry. So yeah.
Look, maybe I have it wrong. And
I mean, they're young. They got time to improve. But I'm saying, as of right now, they are not there yet.
Yeah. So
you got a handful of guys. You got the old guys. You got the old guys that are still around that aren't New Japan dads yet, and you got Saber and a couple other guys in there valuable. Like bro, if Philly won New Japan Cup, I would not say a damn word. He's not in it, right? But still, I wouldn't say a word.
But I was led to believe Konosuke Takeshita was the problem. He needed to be excommunicated. He
look, man. The real thing is they were just saying like they tired, like they separate discussion. Takeshita is absolutely at the top of that roster as far as in-ring talent and performance, and they're tired of AEW taking their talent away from them. That's really the main thing, but they don't feel like saying,
"Hey, they gonna have these niggas there for a while."
Yeah. Bro, what are they gonna do for Vendor? How much CMLL have to be involved for that?
Might not be so forbidden.
Yeah. Because outside of Sabre,
I mean, look,
Ishii being in AEW so much it don't even count.
Right.
He come here to like, bro. Why is Tomohiro Ishii treated like a kid in a divorced, split household? Where it's like, hey, you with mom during the school year, but in the summer you with dad.
Right.
And dad is AEW. That's how they treat him now that he ain't in New Japan. He ain't in G1s no more. They can use him in G1 still, by the way. But
he's still him. King of the North. Dudes fans said they don't want to see Takeshita in New Japan ever again. I don't know. Maybe, I guess. But shame on them if that's the case.
Like, I don't know, man. Shingo.
You know, when Shingo comes to America, he might try to bring Natsupoi with him. We can't be letting that. We can't be letting all that happen.
I thought you put down the beef. No,
I did, but I got to get one in. It was right there. It was a layup. I wasn't about to do the Ben Simmons. Just let it go off. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. But anything else we need to wake up. I
think we did a good. I think this might be the most like pat ourselves on the back episode of One Nation Radio ever. I don't think we ever been like all these things. We were like, we was right.
I try not to pat myself on the back, but it just happens sometimes.
It's funny because you talking about Tommaso Ciampa. What's this thing? Pat yourself on the back. And he sure enough has deserved it so far this year. But in AEW. But yeah, man, that's the end of the show. Thanks for listening, y'all. If you are watching from the stream, be sure to go to the show notes when the podcast is up.
Hit the like.
Red circle. You can donate there. What were we saying, Rich?
Hit the like button for sure.
Yeah, also hit the like button. Drop review, drop a rating. 5
comments, all that shit. Yeah. Run it up.
And be sure to listen to other shows on the network. Besides One Nation Radio, you have Keepin It Strong Style, All Things Elite, Imps Adventures, Wrestling Out with Chris Things, Tunnel Talk, the Trish and Sarah Wrestling Podcast, AEW Match Guide, and Joshi'ing Around. Thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Peace.